the shit you have.
We made a lot of money in the hallways. You probably wasn't understanding who we grew up in the hard way. We grew up in the hard way. We rather shot a nigga in broad day. They got a nigga head on the parkway. You probably wasn't understanding who we grew up in the hard way.
Hey, yo, this shit about to get different. That's a fact, man. Neanderthals, Homo sapiens. Salute our parents. We about to get into this, man. I've been doing a little bit of research, man. And I don't want people to get mad at my opinion, because that's just what it is, my opinion. This ain't my facts or anything. But I look at how, with my blood, how much different we are. And I'm boggled by that. I'm not going to lie. Because my mind is always wondering why. Some people is not thinking like that. So I don't advise you to be something you're not. But I'm always questioning, like, yo, why is we so different? We're not all the same. Salute, Don P. So I was looking at this video I bumped across, and it was a video with it was called when black people encounter white people for the first time, right? And I was intrigued about it. You know what I mean? Of course, they're going to be very suspect and stuff like that. So I wanted to find a place where I can find white people that still live in their natural environment, like still live like butt naked with leaves on them and stuff like that. And I can't find it. So, you know, I be thinking crazy. Let me get my camera. Let me get my camera situated. This shit gonna go on the curve? I don't think so. Let me see. Yo, can y'all see me? Staticky. I gotta reset my. Anyway, so yeah, so I'll be real like curious, like you know, I had to look up where gunpowder came from, because I'm like, who made guns? Like, you know what I mean? I read the Chinese in 1100, and gunpowder came at 808 AD, and you know, I did my research of the Homo sapiens and Neanderthals, and then they all was in Africa at one point in time, and they all migrated from Europe to middle Eastern Asia. And I'm looking at these people that they saying was cavemen, I guess, that people that couldn't start, whatever that. And I guess they could travel. You know what I mean? They can travel many ways. Just cavemen just walking, I guess. You know what I mean? Anyway, they said they walked, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking to myself, were they Christians and stuff like that? Were they religious? Like they cave people and stuff like that? Where they go when they die? Did they go to heaven or hell? You know what I mean? So I'm thinking to myself, so you know what I mean? I'm just thinking, I mean, just going off. So I'm thinking to myself, why is it? Where is it that there's a time where I can find white people in their original state? Like, if you, all right, like, I could always go like Brazil, Peru, Amazon, and you could find massive tribes that still never seen a white man before. Never seen it. And when I look at it is, right, why is it always, this is what boggles my mind. And it's not, I'm not thinking racist, I'm thinking like, why? Like, why? That's how I'm thinking, like, why, right? So I'm thinking like, why do they go to these places and learn them? Like, why do you figure them out? Like, why do you want to know their language? Like, why do you care? Like, why would you go all the way to Brazil to meet a tribe that never seen you, didn't even know you exist, and you come here just to do research on them? And what you will do is you'll bring food. You'll bring something that's, you know what I mean? Like they did, they brought rice, salt, you know what I mean? And I mean, and they eating and shit, and they like them. And now they're asking them, like they're pulling at their clothes and they're saying like Guga, and they write it down. Guga, okay, Guga. They grabbing like their little spears and shit. And when they'll respond to what they're grabbing, they will write it down. And then they had a voice recorder. And I'm like, yo, you see this shit? Like, do you ever see this shit? Like why are we all the same? Like, why ain't we that way? Like, why don't we become NFL players or football players and get our daughters to be like journalists to the point where they can go to other countries and learn about them? Like, you ever seen a whole bunch of, like, you know what I mean? Like, you ever think that way? Like, okay, why is it there racism? Like, who started that shit? Let's go deep though. Like, I be thinking like, who started this shit? Like, who started like separation? Like, it was never supposed to be separation. It was just supposed to be like, understand like, oh, we all live in the same wooded area. You got your side, I got my side. But if we need help with it like that, we'll fight. Like, you know what I mean? Understand, like, you know what I mean? But like, where did this like hate come from each other? Like, where did that start from? Like, who started that shit? First of all, who said you're black, I'm white? Like, all right, this is what I think. I think. This is not a fact, so don't get it fucked up. This is what I think. Imagine us all living one way, right? We all chilling, living one way. Everybody go to sleep at 5 o'clock when the sun go down. When sun go up, everybody's doing one shit. But it's this one motherfucker, right? When everybody go to sleep, he up. Like he don't want to go to sleep. Like, this motherfucker up. Next thing you know, he's like being disobedient almost. Now, this is the weird part. I believe back in those times, we was very in tune with the universe, like everything that came with it. Maybe, I don't know, the spiritual world, ancestors, the space, fucking, I don't know. But this is what I do know. Whoever left, when they say, you know what, they show you in funny movies like Year One, it's like that. It's always one they banish. They banish. And it's like the one that's been banished. Now they make movies about how he was banished, but he the shit now. You heard? Like, yeah, motherfucker, remember y'all banning me? Now I'm the motherfucker that run shit. So look, he leave, right? He leave. He take a couple with him. Like, you know how they say in the Bible? Like, he made the Bible. Like he different. Like, you see what I'm saying? He left. But all the shit he learned about like connecting with the higher persons like that, he took with him and all his people with him, right? Then he started using like all the information that he learned for like who started banks? Like, you think about that shit, like who came up with the idea? Like, yo, we're gonna start a bank. Like, think of that shit. If you go in the woods, it ain't nobody think about no fucking bank. Ain't nobody thinking that. If you go back to how we was original, like who started evolution? Like, who started saying, let's start changing? Like, let's start, you know what I mean? There's people that still live natural till this day. Because they was never, so if we wasn't, we would, so like who started this? Like, who started saying, you know what? Let's start being a new world. Let's start having buildings. Like, who said, let's start a building? We always created shelter. You can look at the pyramids and say like, damn, you know what I mean? Because, you know, kings, we want big shit. You know what I mean? That's us. If you look at, all right, let's give an example. If you go to any tribe in the world, everybody got a necklace on. One made of seashells. The other one made out of stones. The other one made out of jaguar teeth. Everybody got a necklace on. You come to America, we still got gold on. You won't find white people like that wearing gold like that because that's not in their gold. You see what I'm saying? Like chains and shit. It's not in them. We come from that. Something myself, why don't you come from that? Like, what the fuck? You don't rock chains and shit? Like, you don't do that? Like, why are you so different? Like, ain't you like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I be really thinking that shit. Like, if you go back to any source of time, I don't give a fuck what it was. We always had jewelry. I don't give a fuck what time you go. If you go in slavery, we always had jewelry. It was fucking the turtle shells, little baby turtle. It was fucking animal teeth. It was, you go in any place that has nothing and they always got a necklace on or tattoos or shit like that. White people didn't start that bone and those gauges and they took that shit from. So I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? Like, what do you have? You know what I mean? Like, what do you have? Like, what do you have? Other than, like, this is how I think, right? Black people wasn't like Like, we're fighters. If you look at our structure and shit, we're chiseled, cut up, whatever the fuck. We could tell we got the stature of, like, you see what I'm saying? I don't see, like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, when that dude left, when he left and took his people with him, he made a book. His book is called the Bible, you heard? This Bible is telling you, yo, if you don't worship me, you're out of here. I'm like, you see what I'm saying? If you go to any jungle, they don't have no religion. No religion. I got you, Don P. They ain't got no religion. They don't know what the fuck. They stay planes. They think that's chariots in the sky and shit. They don't even have no fucking religion. Do they go to heaven or hell? Like, who teaches this shit? This wasn't always us. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, yo, that wasn't us. You ever think about this? Why they don't make no movies about Buddha? They got mad movies about Jesus. Like, Buddha never existed or some shit. Like, you don't never make a movie about Islam. Like, you ever think about Prophet Muhammad saying, like, you never made a movie about that? Why? Why is that? You crazy, yo. Yo. If you fall for anything, you stand for nothing, yo. This shit is bugged out. What's going on, Don P?
What's going on, Knowledge? How you doing today?
Stand out the way, sign in the way.
Hey, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. Can you hear me?
That's what you were saying about the... Yes, sir. I'm out of my head. That's what I was just saying. I just got home. You know what I mean?
You staticky now. You real staticky.
All right. Come on. Jump off. Let me get settled and be right back on.
All right. Yeah, yo, like, this shit is different. Like, yo, all right. Think of this. There's always there's never black people actually trying to learn white people life. You ever think of that shit? Like, you never see a group of black people say, you know what, we about to go to Scotland. Fuck that. We going to Scotland. We out. We're going to Scotland and we're going to do, you know what I mean? Like, you ever think of that shit? Y'all don't think of that? How many adoption agencies you ever see black people trying to adopt white kids? Like, you ever think that shit? You don't be thinking, like, you don't be thinking that shit? Like, I hate when people say we all the same, because when I mention the things that we all do, it's not compared. We all don't cook the same. Every race has, all right, India has mad curry and shit. Even like Jamaican, like they got Jamaican curry. India got mad curry. Every place got season. White people ain't got no season and shit. Like, if you eat that, like, you ever taste baked macaroni and cheese that they make? That shit blanded them up, salt and pepper and shit. Ain't no, and oregano and leaves and shit. Nobody want no leaves, nigga. This ain't a vegan meal. Nigga, I want some season salt and shit on that motherfucker. You heard? They ain't got no season. You be looking at that shit. You don't think if you go to Australia and you ever think about it, they eat their shit medium rare. You ever think about white people like they food medium rare? You ever think of that shit? We want our shit cooked. Even in them jungles, we be like, yo, nah, cook that motherfucking goat fully. Put that motherfucker on a charcoal. Let that motherfucker crisp. They like, no, I want my lamb bloody, medium rare. I want my shit just like you took it and just cut it and just put it on there for a fucking couple seconds and took it off. You grab that shit still saying mad. That shit's still mad. That shit's still bloody. Why do they like their food medium rare? Imagine, just think about this. What if you didn't shampoo? Like, I be thinking, oh, we all, because I be looking at like, why is the world different? And why don't we accept each other for being different? Instead, we tell each other, we're all the same. I think myself, fuck no, we're not. Why we embrace our differenceness so we can learn from each other from that. But instead, we're saying, we're all the same. No, you're not the same, ma'am. Sorry, you're not the same. You can't cook fucking collard greens, man, with turkey neck. You can't do that. You can't. You had to hire a slave. Remember that? Like, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, I'm just giving you the difference that we're not the same, but we all live in the same environment. I can say that. We all live in the same environment trying to make it work. That's what I respect. But telling me ain't no difference from white and black, you's a motherfucking lie. Who told you that? I heard of black love. I've never heard of white love, ever. I've heard people say black love. I've never heard white people like protest white love. I've never heard that. It don't ever sound right. I just imagine call a whole bunch of white girls queens. Like, what's going on, queen? You like, bitch, be like, what? Queen Elizabeth? Like, I ain't no queen. It's different. It don't. So stop saying like we're not. We're not. It's different. Why won't we embrace that instead of just saying, no, we're all this? No, we're not. Why are you lying these people? We're not the fucking same. I'm gonna tell you something right now. How about this? We're the same. You get your fastest white dude. I'll get my fastest black dude. Who you think will win? What the fuck? You know what's weird? We will go to jail for fucking dog fighting, but you won't go to jail for killing fucking animals and hanging them on a wall. Fucking antelopes, deer, elephant tusk, all this shit. But you'll send a nigga to jail for dog fighting. Oh, he's killing animals. Nigga, you just killed a fucking buffalo just to put the head on the wall. What the fuck is you saying? Who started dog fighting? Where that start at? We didn't start that. We didn't. I know a hella niggas right now that live in India, Brazil, all them places, and not with them. They chicken fight before they dog fight. So where the fuck dog fighting come from? I can't name one place in India. What the fuck, dog fighting? I seen niggas got hyena fights, chicken fights, dog. Nigga, we even got no pit bulls like that. I never seen a Jamaican with like mad pit bulls and shit. There's a whole bunch of them. I see them little dogs with them. They're like shepherd dogs and shit, like miniature labs and shit. You never seen a whole bunch of pit bulls running around in Jamaica. I seen a whole bunch of pit bulls running around in India. I've never seen no pit bulls running around in India. You ever seen a whole bunch of pit bulls running around in India? Never. What the fuck is that? Like, people bugging. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how pit bulls and black people are the fucking same. When a white girl get a black dude, it's like getting a pit bull. If you tell that mom, guess what I got? I just bought a pit. Oh my God. You know they can turn on you. You know that, right? You know pits are aggressive. You know that's just how they are, the breed. You can find some good ones, but the name of a pit, it's not that good. Yeah. Until that pit bull coming out and start doing tricks and shit. I'm like, you know what, Samantha? You got a good one. You have gotten a good dog. Where do you get it from? Yeah, let you get a nigga the same way. Who? Jamil? Oh my God. Where is he from? You know they can turn on you. Let that nigga come and start doing tricks and shit. You know what, Samantha? You got a good one. Where is he from? Where's his family? Is he like, yeah. Yeah, man, it's different. Different. It's different. Why is it different though? That's what nobody asking. That's why I be asking. Like, yo, why is this shit so different? Like, why I notice y'all, you know what's weird? You can have a fucking landscape job and make $14 an hour and still live good. Like, what the fuck? Listen, you can make $14 an hour and still have a fucking Silverado F-150, a house that's paid off for. Nigga, you only make what the fuck you get all this? Yo, my mom makes 16 and she ain't even got a fucking car. Like, how the fuck you get all these? You ain't even that smart. Like, I'm not saying, I'm just saying, like, what the fuck? How you get this job that's not really like crazy and still have all this shit? You ever think nobody thinks like that shit? Like, yo, what the fuck? That's why they say privilege. Like, who said that? Like, who made like, yo, this shit deep. This shit deep, yo. Yo, click that link if you want to, like, what's up? Because this shit don't make sense. Make it make sense to me, man. I don't understand how you just evolve and not know what the fuck going on. Like, how can you evolve and still be going to jungles? Like, why are you still going out there? Like I really be wondering, like, why do you hire a team of people to go to a fucking jungle where they don't want to be bothered, and you go there and you learn? Like, what the fuck is you here for? Like, nobody thinks like that. Because I've never seen a group of Jamaicans go to fucking India just to try to learn. I've never seen a group of Indians go to fucking China and try. I always see a bunch of white people always exploring. We want to explore. We want to know the land. Like, why? Why can't you just live on it, enjoy it, love it, what it has to offer, embrace it, and that's it? No. We want to know what everything is doing here. We want to know what's under the water and what's in the sky. We want to know what's in your body. We want to know what's in your brain. Yo, man, shut up. You know you want to know too much. Why the fuck you so nosy? God damn, you a nosy motherfucker, ain't you? You ever notice everywhere you go, no matter where you go, it's always white people looking at you? I'm just telling the truth. I don't give a fuck what you feel. It's always one looking at you like, look at you. Where you come from? I be thinking that. Nobody think like that. I be really, and I'm not saying racist. I'm just thinking like, why everybody, like, why is it like this? Like, why are you like that? Why I'm like, what the fuck? I be really bugged out like, yo, why in school they show movies like Roots and Amistad? You don't remember that shit when Reading Rainbow, that motherfucker played Kunta Kinte and shit? My name is a Kunta. He's like, nah, your name is a Toby. Think myself, why the fuck y'all showing us this shit? Nigga, we 8. Nigga, what the fuck is you shit? Like, you implanting that shit in us. Like, what the fuck? Nobody see that shit. Like, who owns this? Like, why is most of the school named after, like, white men? You know, it's never no school named after even a white woman. None. It's never named after no black man like that. Like, this is an all-black school. Like, it's an all-black school. So, no, why them school? Like, why is it that? Why it ain't named after, like, the fucking community or some shit? Like, why is it like, it should be really bugged because the people up top, the motherfuckers is aliens. You don't be seeing the shit they be creating and shit? Like, these tablets. You could be on a fucking tablet. I could talk to Don P in Africa. FaceTime. Like, how the fuck can my face get all the way to Africa in fucking 24.17 milliseconds? Who the fuck made that? Like, nobody questions it. I'll just use it. You don't be thinking about it like that? Like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why you made that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the purpose is? Why can't we like, yo, y'all motherfuckers is crazy. Y'all want to evolve so bad. Y'all evolving to die. Yo, bro.
What's going on, man? Can you hear me clearly now?
Yeah, we clear, man.
Word. And going back to what you to jump into what you were speaking about, yo. First of all, salute to everybody in the chat, and salute to you, Knowledge. And yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how, you know, and now you speaking on technology and the spaceships and all this, you know, what's going on. It's amazing, because that's my field. It's electronics and technology. It's amazing, and sometimes I believe myself that this technology came from somewhere else, whether it came from the sky or people that were more intelligent, like fallen angels. But how the heck did man come up with this? You know, with the oscillators and the crystals and the storing of energy. You know, this is from somewhere else. You know, humans, look at us from the 1950s and 60s moving forward to 2021. We evolved and came forward so fast.
Hell yeah.
Where did this technology come from? Because in thousands of years, you know, we didn't bring this forth rapidly. Either it was something that came from somewhere else, or ancient history that was rediscovered and hidden from us. You know?
Why ain't black people in other places not trying to evolve? Like, this would, like, why is it if we wasn't forced to evolve, we would still be in our ways because our ways is natural. It was somebody outside of the group that forced us to be outside of our natural involvement, to be inside of a program evolvement. If you go to any place that's tropical, that people that still live like natural, they're not even interested evolving because their mind is not programmed to evolve. Their mind is only programmed to live based on their environment. If you go out, you go in that jungle and you look at all those creatures, monkeys, anacondas, jaguars, all type of shit. These people live amongst them. Yes, they died due to malaria. Yes, they died due to different diseases. That comes with life. A lot of people die from COVID. So I'm just saying, like, diseases comes and goes, you know what I mean, due to the environment. But I'm just saying, like, these people are not thinking about, like, you know what, let's go all the way on the other side. They're not thinking that. They're just saying, we have what we have here. We're okay with what we got. We have family. We have nature. We have the woods. They're just happy. Everywhere you go, they're like that. What came in our environment to say, nah, y'all need to wear clothes. Nah, y'all need to put a gun in your hand. Like, nah. Because if you look at every race of people, I can't find not one race of man that lived butt naked at one time. Never. They always had clothes. It's like, how the fuck y'all niggas, like, y'all never was at one, like, if we go to caveman and Homo sapien, no, fuck all that. I'm talking about like, how did you even learn about clothes? Like, who the first person said, yo, let's put some clothes on? Like, if you really,
and let me interject right there. And who put a price on gold? You know, because gold is the most electric conductor.
yes,
And And as I believe, we receive energy and signals from the skies and our ancestors. And I believe that the jewelry we wore, it wasn't for adornment. It was just electrical conductor to pick up signals and energy. You
Yes.
know what I mean? So right now, this technology won't be here or move forward without gold, because
Yes.
gold plays a part in all of this. And even
I
us
didn't even know that.
as human beings, we have traces of gold in our biology, in our existence, in
In our
our
minerals.
bodies.
In our minerals, yeah.
And all right, and to switch off from there, no disrespect to anybody, I ain't trying to disrespect no white people or anything. So I can understand why when they say, the white people's the devil, because they was the ones that like set out to conquer the world and take it over. So I understand the mentality of, why did you set out to conquer the world when everybody was chilling, even though there was war amongst the tribes and problems amongst the tribes, but we never set out almost like to conquer the whole world. And like the way that these people, well, I'm not even going to say white, but people of a different mentality, set out to conquer the world and take us over and take all this over. So it was a different type of thinking that was introduced to us, or a different type of thinking that was brought down from the heavens onto a certain people, if that makes sense to y'all.
This is the thing, right? If we look at religion, if you went to a all white church, if they had the Holy Ghost, right? Then you go to a black church. Is the Holy Ghost the same? No.
What exactly is the Holy Ghost, though?
This is we're going to break down tribal music. If we go back to music of tribal, like African music, Latino music, Cuban, Peru, anything with drums, anything with like seashells, we're very creative when it comes to making something of music texture. Something that's frequency, something good for the ears, that's good for the body, vibes, right? There's no elements where white has that. So when they see their rhythm, that's why they say, man, white people ain't got no rhythm. Why don't they? If they come from the same soil and dirt. We can go to India, they can dance. You go to Spanish, they can dance. You go to any place that's colored, Chinese. They even wear a lot of white makeup, but if you look past it, they're yellow people. They're the last part of black. You know what I mean? They're the yellow, right? So when you look at that, they even have, but if you go to white Scotland, France, they have no culture of dancing. It's just mocking. Like if you look at yoga, that's mockery. If you look at a whole bunch of things they do, it's mockery of another. So where is your originality? Like where is your, like, we've been doing this since day one. Like I want to see that. Like I know our day ones. Like I can look at Africa, Congo, I can look at Peru, I can look at the Amazon. It's a person of color somewhere, some shape, some form, right? If I go and say, I want to see your originality, you can't find it nowhere. So it's like, how the fuck you come from us when you're so advanced? Like, why are you so advanced? Like, why do you care? Like, why are you like movies? Who wanted to make a movie? Like, whoever thought like, you want to make a movie? Like, what the fuck? Why? Like, who said that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we about to make a.
The evidence speaks for itself. Let's see where culture came from. Let's see whose culture is in present day, and let's see who has culture and has no culture. No disrespect to anybody out there, but let's study this. Culture comes from us,
Yes.
The founders of civilization.
Yes.
So, and it goes back to the Bible, because the Bible is deep. Going back to the story of Adam and Eve, was that an experiment? Was that somebody that was created? Because when Cain killed Abel, Cain went out to the world and God put a mark on his head so the rest of the people won't spite him. So if Adam and Eve was the first ones and Cain and Abel was the first sons, who was the other people that inhabited the earth that God had to put a mark on his head that the other people don't spite him? So that it goes to tell you they weren't the first ones here. That was an experiment in the garden, that somebody was brought forth in the garden, and civilization existed before that experiment in the garden.
Now let's go deep.
And
right?
That's just my philosophy.
He got married. Cain killed Abel, and Abel went to land of Enoch, right, and met his wife, right? So he got married, bare children, right? So how he get married? Like, who was the woman? Like, all right, boom, all right, let's forget about that, right? Why they don't talk about Adam's first wife, Lilith? See, that's weird, right? So we talk about Adam's first wife, Lilith, the one that was didn't want to obey Adam.
Let me interject right there. It's almost like going into the church. They won't go through the whole Bible, but they'll take you to certain places. They'll take you here, they'll take you there, and they'll take you there. But they won't explain the whole thing,
Because it second guesses the mind.
Yeah, and Jehovah was a jealous God, but they don't tell you on how Jehovah sends the tribes to war against other tribes.
Yeah, Jesus. Yo, I mean,
You
God is
know,
a. Hey, yo, all right, all
it
right, all
was
right.
it was war. So it's a sketchy situation. Everybody has to study history and interpret it for themselves because there's shit that don't make sense. If you take it in layman terms and what they tell you, yeah. But when you dig a little deeper, it doesn't make sense. You have to do the knowledge. You have to think.
I'm gonna tell you
There's a
something.
difference between
No, go
reading
ahead.
something and learning something and doing the knowledge and acknowledging something. You know.
That Bible is deep, but it's bullshit. If you know what I mean, right? So nobody has history of anybody in the Bible. Like you could find King Tut and King Nefertiti and all these other people, but you can't find like Matthew, James, John, none of people. Them names don't ever sound Egyptian, right? Or even Hebrew. We're gonna leave that alone, right? So we gonna them J's wasn't even invented when the Bible was even created. So all right, boom, 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 boom.
And
So
wanted to stop right there. How comes the people in America is the only people that name their children Jesus?
yeah,
No one else in the world but us in the Americas. So
and
that's something
people
that
and,
boggles my brain.
and another
But
thing is too, people had to um get into Christianity. It wasn't something that was already embedded in them, right? So okay. So I look at it as okay, Egyptians. They say Jesus was born in a stead or a fucking shed or whatever, right? And he said the North Star, right? The prophets, 12 of them, right, followed it because they know that'll lead them to Jesus, right? So this child that's going to be the man, you know what I mean, whatever, they get gifts to him, right? So this is supposed to be Christmas. This is Christmas, right? So I know for a fact it wasn't December, you know, because they went by the Julius calendar. It was totally different than what we go by, right? So it just amazes me that nobody in Egypt follows that. Nobody in Egypt's like that lives there goes by that. Nobody. If you go to Egypt right now and say, yo, Jesus from here, they'll be like, oh nah, like really nah, like that's American shit. Nobody is in Egypt over there like, nah, we ain't banging that, like, nah, like, but because they're from here, we're not. So we're going off what people tell us instead of like
uh,
doing research, like, yo, how many people in Egypt, like, you know what I mean? Like, where was Jesus at? What?
yeah, and hold on a second, and to stop you right there, I believe, like our ancestors believe he was here in the Americas since God created the universe, and before the Christians got to America, there was that Bible wouldn't exist here in America. We
Fact.
had our own religion and
Yeah.
our own stuff.
Yes.
So even the Aboriginals, I'm not going to say the natives because the natives were mixed, with Mongo and melanated people, dark people. So what was our religion here? What did we practice here before that Bible was brought over and forced upon us? Because we were forced to change it to this religion, and if we didn't change it to this religion, we were murdered and
Yeah.
massacred. So it just goes to tell you that's some things that we got to think about. You know what I mean? What was
Why?
here before that?
Why is it when they gave you off the boat, they gave you a Bible? Why you ain't have one when you got here? So it's like, yo, you see what I'm saying?
And
Like,
hold on a second. Let me interject right quick, and not to take none from the Bible because I believe some of the stuff that's in the Bible it's true. It's written
yeah,
in metaphors and it's written in different ways. But I believe it was manipulated to think our minds. Just
yes,
like a lot of people don't understand Don P because Don P might speak in parables and metaphors, and y'all take it literally, but y'all ain't reading between the lines of what Don P really has to say. Y'all just take it for face value, but y'all don't read between the lines. And y'all don't when I speak in metaphors, y'all don't see that. When I speak in parables, y'all don't see that.
it's not for
And that's what confuses people. So salute to those that understand me. You know what I mean? Much love. Because y'all possess a higher knowledge.
hey, yo, word is bone. When I look at this shit, I'm not talking. I tell again, I'm not talking in racism. That's not my thing. My thing is to see why are we different and why it's not like why. 'Cause I'm never going to really find the answer, but I know it's some bullshit that y'all telling me. And when you tell me bullshit, I'm a challenger. My mind wants to be challenged. So I'm thinking like, okay, why is it that one group of people are not the same as the other group of people, but we're all saying we're all the same people? I think alligators know that ostriches, they're not the same, even though they live in the same environment.
Yes, please.
So that saying we're all trying to live in this same environment, but don't come to me telling me
Hey,
we're
there's gonna
all
be
the
a
same.
spectacle in
We're
the
not.
sky.
We're not.
Well, what makes us different? Is it our way of thinking? Is it our physical? Is it our
Everything.
biology? What is
Everything.
it exactly that makes us different?
Gene,
Let's break it down. And
gene, culture, um, athleticism, body structure, brain, like even the thinking level is totally different.
all right. So
Or,
that's train of thought, and physicality. Let's
yes.
break it down. Let's put two or three or four. Anybody who wants to join the panel, please let's join.
Nah,
Um,
on it now.
because train of thought, yes, is good and bad. What either we here to love our brothers and sisters, or we're here to take advantage of our brothers and sisters. Okay, so let's leave that to psychology. Now let's break it down to biology. Everything under the sun and everything that's natural, what receives from the sun's improved. Just like melanated people, receive vitamin D and other vitamins from the sun, and people who have no melanin have to receive supplemental vitamins such as milk and other things in order to produce vitamin D.
Yes.
So so there's a difference between psychology, biology, and genealogy. So let's break it down. And I know a lot of people ain't gonna like this, but it is what it is, man. Don't fucking get in your feelings. Let's just have a constructive conversations. And whoever got something to say, hit that link and let's move forward. Let's go.
See, the thing about this is right. A lot of people, right. I seen it. I'm not going to switch it, but this is what we was talking about. I seen Prince Dose made a video today. You probably seen it too. He said, "I'm not black," right? And he said, "No." He said, "I never said I was black," right? And I'm interested. You know what I mean? Because I'm always curious about a person's mind. Like, why would you say that? Like, I'm curious. Why would you even have to explain that? So I noticed he had to explain it because maybe somebody made a comment about it, right? And he said, I'm mixed. So I'm black, Italian, and what else he said? Spanish, right? So I'm saying, what's not black about you? Like I'm thinking like, all right. So all right. So if you're mixed, you have
And hold on a second. I'm mixed, man. Let me interject right there because I'm
I'm about
mixed.
to say that too. I'm about to say
And
that.
I'm not denying that. And when
So
I look at myself and I'm by my biology, I see because my hair froze up. I got thick, whatever you want to call it, curly hair. It froze up. Sometimes I look at myself and I wonder where these blonde hairs came from because I have both. I have thick, spirally hair, and I have thin, blonde hair that pops up in my body. So, so when I speak, I acknowledge my European side, but my spirit, it's a little different. It's for the love and the people. So that's why I can speak upon this shit because I see my different physical traits. I remember one time I went to the doctor and the doctor's looking at me and he's looking at me and he's like, "Where you from?" And I'm like, I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm Caribbean. But he's looking at my skin and he's like, "So why is your skin so blotchy?" So that's like almost like a European trait at times. Because in the wintertime, my skin does get like that. But in the summertime, when I'm receiving the sun's energy, I turn real dark. And you don't see that blotchiness. You know what I mean? So there's a difference between both, between the melanation and the blotchiness, which is European and original man, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know what I mean? I might be wrong by saying European. I might say Caucasian and fucking melanated. So studying myself, I see the jump between them, the crossover. You know what I mean? I see both traits inside of me. But even though I see both traits inside of me, I look at myself, my psychology. Who am I down for? Am I down for humanity? Or am I down for whites? Or am I down for blacks? Or am I down for everybody, me being who I am? And I'm down for everybody. If y'all think the same and it's all love and it's, humbleness and brotherliness, it's cool. But if you ain't with that, then that turns you into a different person. If what I said makes sense to everybody out there. Go
I
ahead.
see, I see somebody say stop racism. I'm gonna get on that right too. It's funny that when a white girl have a mixed baby, she be so proud to tell the world he has black in him. But a lot of like, yo, what you saying? My baby's dad's black. my baby's mixed. My baby got black, you know what I mean? But a lot of black people don't want to admit that shit. Like the ones that's really for the, you know what I mean? For the other. So it's like, all right, boom, right? And people say, yo, stop racism, right? Racism ain't something we started. We can't stop
Word.
something we
And
started.
and I
We're talking to the
and I
wrong
don't
ones.
and I
We're
don't
talking to
deny
the wrong
and
ones.
I don't deny my Caucasoid traits either. You know what I mean? Because if you look at the people of the Americas, we not that hairy. I'm a hairy motherfucker. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to be racist, but I'm just acknowledging my traits, my biology, based. But we got to separate our biology with our psychology. You
My
understand?
soul got to get here somewhere, some way. If it's do mixed, if it's do something, my soul got to get here some way. But that don't stop my soul. You heard?
A-
Like,
And that's why I believe that's what separates us is our train of thought and our psychology, our love or our hate. That's what makes different people. Love for humanity and everybody else, regardless of what color they are, or hatred for somebody who ain't like you. You know, like I ran into that dude at my job, and we all cool and everything at this one job I worked, and he was like, you know what, Don P, you cool. The only thing that separates us is the color of our skin. And then I went home after work and I dwelt upon that. And when I came home the next morning, I told him, I mean, when I came to work the next morning, I told him, that's not what separates us. That's what makes us different. That's
yes,
the difference between us, you know. And he apologized. He was like, "Yo, my bad. You know, I didn't mean it in that way." So it all boils down to psychology too, you know. So let's study the biology, the psychology. You know, everything needs to be studied: the science, the mathematics, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
yeah, that's that God body. Yo, hey, yo, yeah. All right, look, right. I don't want to jump off topic, but I feel like I can talk what the fuck I want to, right? Because of my shit, right? I'm gonna give you an example. You have dudes like Doc Simony,
Overstanding
right?
is where you
Yeah,
at.
overstand it. Some people just understand. They don't overstand nothing, right? Yo, you know what's crazy, right? So you got dudes like Doc Simony, and he can have a regular job. Like just say a fucking landscaping or construction. You know what I mean? He could be bringing home just say $14 an hour, or say 17, say $21 an hour, right? He could bring home that much money and still drink, smoke. If he wanted to smoke coke, he could, and they will still let him come to work, even if he was drunk, right? I noticed the leniency of what you got is because of the leniency is because I know dudes right now that I served to back in the day, and they was landscapers or mortar or shit like that, and they will go in the car and smoke coke on a break and go right back to work. And I'm thinking to myself, the people knew they was high, like the people, but they was part of the team. Like it's like, so what? That's Richard's son, you know what I mean? Or that's Bob's nephew, or that's Chris, brother-in-law. So it was like, even though he's doing wrong, he needs the money for his family. And I know he wants, I mean, you know what I mean? So it's different. But for us, it's like if we fuck up one time, say I'm a landscape and I'm around, and if I fuck up, it'll catch me smoking crack. It's like, I don't think we can have you here. We don't want to jeopardize the job, and we don't want none of our tools stolen. And you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? He been stealing tools for a whole year. Y'all just keep buying them. But when something goes, you know what I mean? So I look at shit like that. Like, how can you still be with your lack of, I don't know, this should be deep. This should be deep because people don't look at shit like that. I'm not gonna give no the difference between me and a lot of people. I'm gonna speak honestly. A lot of people gonna speak emotionally. That's the difference between me and a lot of people. You're gonna speak on me based on your emotions. You're not gonna speak on me based on your truth. My truth is not my emotions because I'm not really good with them. But when it comes to what I see, now this is what I see. You can
Yeah,
correct me.
based on hold on a second, based on judgment, because we out here in the streets, you know, us, you know, we committing low crimes, but there's people committing high crimes.
Yes,
We just taking pocketbooks and you know small money. There's people out there in corporate America that are stealing millions,
you got your own wick.
millions, and they get away with nothing but just a little slap on the wrist and probation. Now us, we might sell a little 20 of coke or 40 of coke, and they'll lock us the fuck up for 4 years. But these people are stealing millions from the people in corporate America, and they get probation, or
You
they
ever
might
think
get no
about?
jail time at all. So
Let's think
yes, there's
about
a
this.
bias here going on. There's definitely a bias going on here,
Where
and like I
do
said,
all them drugs go? Like, okay, they do a raid.
First of all, where do all those drugs come from?
This
Let's
is that
speak on that.
we ain't gonna listen. We own no planes and we own no boats, so we already know we don't have the right to even fly. So you know what I mean. We know that there's not one black owned air company and there's not black owned cruise line that where you can take it. No, it doesn't. You got some boat owners, but they don't own the goddamn. So we already know where the drugs come from. I mean, we know who even thought
We
about
ever,
mixing that shit up to even who even
and
thought about yo, if I mix a little bit of this and shit, we'll kill people. Like who the fuck thought that? Like we killing niggas with poisonous toes and darts and shit. You want to do some real shit like that? That's some chemist shit.
that was
Like,
made by chemists in the lab. That wasn't made by
yeah,
us. That was introduced to us. Shout out Queen Eve, you
bless
know,
her queen.
and definitely that's definitely what you're speaking on. You know, we ain't create this shit. You know, do you know that Coca-Cola
You
is
used to have
the
coke in
only
it.
uh
You used to have coke in it.
yeah, no, hold on a second. Coca-Cola is the only company allowed to import coca leaves. All right, they say through a chemical process, they delete the thing that gets you high, but they still use the coca leaf for flavor. You know what I mean? And to this day, the company is in New Jersey and they still import coca leaves to make Coca-Cola. So what gives them an exemption? Why can't we import coca leaves? You
Because
know
we
what I
don't have
mean?
that type of power. The
And going
difference is that
and
they
and
know that.
and let me teach the people a lesson. All right, the Taliban well, first of all, Afghanistan produces 85% of the poppy
Opium. Yeah,
seeds
opium.
in this world. So they
Yes.
produce 85% of the opium. So now the Taliban was trying to put a chokehold on Europe, you know, the Muslim countries, and the Taliban was eradicating the poppy fields in Afghanistan. Why? Because they wanted to put a chokehold on the big business and the big medicine in Europe and the United States. So that's why 9/11 had to happen so we could go in there and
Yeah.
take control of the poppy
Go
fields.
to war.
All right. So now I have met a lot of soldiers that come back from war, you know, working at the Caterpillar plant because they employ a lot of soldiers. And they telling me like, yo, we out there protecting poppy fields. Why is it that the American soldiers are out there protecting poppy fields? Why? Because this is big business, baby. This is pharma. So we had to knock down them towers to create a purpose for us to go to war against the Muslims, which they were trying to eradicate the poppy fields. And look at what was going on here in America. We have a dope epidemic. We have an opium epidemic. Everybody's strung the fuck out. Now, who's responsible for this? Who's responsible for this? Is it the American government that we went over there to make sure that the poppy seeds are being produced so we can provide big pharma and the pharmaceutical companies for this? Let's be real. Where does the coke come from?
See,
Where does the heroin come from?
naturally inside. See, this is the thing. This is where your spiritual comes deep. When you know something ain't right, but it comes from your home, you don't want to live there. That's like America. So we live here, but we know this home ain't right.
And
So
to show y'all where my spirit is at, man, I once worked for a company. We built the motherboards for heat-seeking missiles. So do you know how I felt that when I'm there at my job, at my corporate job, producing the motherboards that control these heat-seeking missiles, and I know these missiles are gonna go across seas and kill people. Do you know how I feel?
yeah,
You know what I
fact.
mean? Knowing that I'm causing destruction, my job, and this is my livelihood, and I'm building this to kill people, to cause destruction and genocide amongst our people. That's fucked up, man.
That shit deep. Because that shit does something to your soul, you heard?
No doubt, it breaks me down and it hurts me.
It
You know
hurts you
what I mean? It
because you
hurts
know,
me. But
and
this
thing.
is the job that's paying me for me to live my best life. But me working for this job for me to live my best life, I'm producing destruction to other people, man.
It ain't no
And this
different
is
from a rap
fucked up.
artist. It ain't no different
And
from a
this is
rap
fucked
artist. You
up.
heard? A rap artist do the same thing you're doing. He gets paid $1 million to incriminate and brainwash people. You see what I'm saying? You know how many people die listening to other rappers' music? They in the car dead, and it's a rapper song playing. Lil Durk, you know what I mean? Playing. You heard? Like, so it's how many people you kill just because of your song, yo. How many people say, you know what, I'm ready to do a drive on that just because of the music. That much
How many
power.
how many motherboards have I built that went over there and killed thousands of people, man? How much destruction has I provided in order for me to make my way of living?
Same thing with a
And
drug dealer. That's the thing is, the world makes it seem okay to do wrong unless it's beneficial. So that's how the higher person thinks. And that's how he trained you to think. That's why it's okay to be gay. That's why it's okay to be this. That's why it's okay to be a hunter, as long as you're making money off the elephant tusk that you're stealing. Like, as long as it's just beneficial, it's okay to chop cheap trees down because big lots and Home Depots, they got to make their money. You don't care about hurting as long as there's profit behind it. We never thought that way, but we're being trained to think that way. So now, if you go to a jungle, to a natural state of mind where we come from, those people don't have that soul, don't have that concept, don't even have that type of instincts. So that lets you know we didn't naturally come from this. We was trained to be like this. So when I go deep, I'm thinking, well, who trained me to think this was okay? Who trained me to say, yo, eat bologna? Who trained me? Who trained my mom? Who trained her mom? Who trained the system to say pig feet? Like, I go over any other country, they don't eat pig like that. There's not even no pigs really. Like, you know what I mean? They eat goat, lamb, they eat wild, mostly animals. And if it is a pig, it's a wild boar. Anything in a wild can't be a pig because anything in wild, it would become a boar. So they don't eat pigs because they don't have no farms. So everything that's pigly like will probably be wild. So it'll be a wild boar. And I don't think they making bacon sausages and fucking egg sandwiches with sausage, bacon, egg. I don't think they're doing that. I think
and
what
going back and going back to your speech, we have to understand these animals that were brought here from foreign lands. Some of these animals weren't here in America. You know, they were brought here. The pig was brought here. You know what I mean? Some of these things that exist here were not living here in America. The horse is indigenous to America. I don't think the cow is indigenous to America. I don't think the pig was indigenous to America.
no.
So these things was brought here to show us how to eat these things and sustain ourselves. Just like cow's milk ain't good for us, milk ain't good for us, cheese ain't good for us. You know what I mean? You know, a cow's milk is made to bring this cow from a calf to a full grown cow and within a year or two.
That's why it has
Now
so much stuff in it. That's why you get
this
so
is
big.
this is not natural. You know, other animals don't drink other animals' milk.
No,
We're the only fucking biological beings that use other animals to sustain ourselves.
we're not though. We're not. Cause I know it's a lot of jungle or African people that drink a lot of goat milk. Like, I've watched them like get goat and squeeze they joint into a pan, and they'll drink that shit like in the morning with rice or some shit like that. They will drink, and I'm thinking myself, that shit even pasteurized. You know what I mean? Just like they can go in the river and just drink water straight out the thing, and that's why they say some of them die from like malaria and stuff like that, and different diseases because of the lack of not knowledge, but the lack of, like, you know what I mean? Just whatever, you know what I mean? So when the white dudes go over there to try to get them like penicillin, aspirins, and stuff like that, you know what I mean, for 6 months and stuff like that, try to help them and shit like that. So that's love, you know what I mean? But comes with something else. You give me your knowledge, I give you some help. You know, I'm not gonna help your motherfuckers for free. So that's how it works. You see what I'm saying? So understand, and that's why the world is the way it is, because nobody helps each other. Back in the day, you could leave your in the 70s, 60s, your grandmama say shit. You could leave your door open. Ain't nobody gonna come in your house. That's natural. That's just, you're telling me that's how black people from the 60s all the way down since we can remember has never really been violent. Never. You can't even, like, if unless you was gangs, and that ain't talking to like the 80s and 70s and shit like that. And that would do like all the corruption do black fucking. But I'm talking about from the 60s all the way down. It was really no big gangs like that was using Uzis and it wasn't nothing like that. It was a couple dudes, baseball bats, chains, and shit like that. It was a couple gang shit, but most of it was breakdance. And nigga, I battle. What's up, nigga? Moves. What's up? I break dance. It was different. Look at us now.
All right, and let me interject right there to support Spawn's statement. Look at our teeth. Study our biology. We are herbivores. Our teeth are not carnivores' teeth. All right, they're not sharp. They're made to grind herbs and other natural things. All right, study a herbivore's teeth and study a carnivore's teeth. Our teeth are different. All right. So who taught us how to eat meat? So when Christopher, if I hope everybody and that's listening will please study the Christopher Columbus diaries and see what he was explaining as he came here into the Americas. You know what I mean? And that's an important lesson too, because people don't study the diaries. People don't study the diaries of the priests that came here. You know, and
Who
if
guided
you
him here?
if you study their diaries, you see what um our food consists of. It was all natural plants and everything was natural, fruits, vegetables. I don't think really we really ate animals here, because when Christopher Columbus came here, he described this land as land of gods. When he came upon the shores of Cuba and Dominican Republic, he said these people have bountiful, all the fruit and vegetables they need to sustain them. You know what I mean? So those eating these animals was introduced to us for a alternative way of giving us vitamins and supplements. You understand? So, like I said, going back to biology, let's study ourselves. Let's study our teeth. We are herbivores. Our teeth was made to eat herbs and fruits and vegetables, not to eat meat. Study yourself. Know thyself. Know thyself. Go ahead. I'm gonna fall back.
Yo, that's crazy because that was a little slang back in the day, right? Hey, yo, right? All right. You know, back in the times, I can't go back too far because everything has its time. I'm gonna go back deep enough so everybody probably can hear a story on it. Some people would say Big Mama. That was one back in the slave times, and Big Mama, you'll catch a cold. And Big Mama didn't have like no doctor or nothing like that. Big Mama would say, "Go get me some of those tea tree leaves and give me some of that dandelion and some ginger and put this in there and rub it on your chest or drink it." Or there was that little remedies, I could say. When you was growing up, your grandma had a little thing. Boy, you got a cold? Rub some of this on you. Put some of this in there and put some. We always have remedies, right? We come from a land of natural healings and natural remedies, but I'm thinking, like, are we the only ones with that? You see what I'm saying? Like, I
Nah, hold on. Let me interject right
don't
there.
want to go
So
too
when
deep.
y'all get, hold on, when y'all get your cough medicines and stuff like that from the pharmacy, what's in it? It's alcohol mostly, so make your body feel better. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing really there. You know what was our cold remedy? Rum, lemon for the vitamin C, and honey, because the honey helps you remove all that mucus out of your chest. So
Yeah,
that's a
fact.
home remedy right there. Rum, lemon, and honey. But since we were made to think backwards, well, they're like, yo, go to the pharmacy, get that NyQuil, which it tells you right there that if you drink while drinking this shit's gonna fuck up your liver and it's gonna fuck this and that up. And it's like, yo, hold on a second. You know what I mean? Let's study this. Let's see this. You know, and all these synthetic chemicals when our ancestors was teaching us through these herbs and our natural things around us how to heal ourselves. You know, just like my neighbor, when he found out I was sick, he said, Pete, hold on a second. I got something for you. What he brought me moonshine. He said, drink this shit, and this shit will kill everything in your system,
That's
even
awesome.
COVID. That's some old school shit, you know? So we have to learn from ourselves and our ancestry is that we've been brainwashed, you know? We've been had. There's, you know, we've been psychologically manipulated to take in these synthetic chemicals instead of healing ourselves with what our God and what universe has given us. Everything is here for us. If we ain't using our elements, what we were supposed to use, that means because we're ignorant and we are falling for the okie doke. So we resort to the mainstream and the synthetic way of life instead of healing ourselves through a natural process. Let me fall back right there.
Blessings, Queen. Blessings.
Peace, everybody.
Blessings to the goddess, man.
Can you hear me okay?
Hell yeah, I hear you.
That's Don P, right?
Yeah.
No, I agree 100%. I just tapped in, so I was just trying to catch up to where you guys were at, whatever.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Yeah, that's me, Don P. You already know, man. Forget the
Okay.
mainstream. We down with the real stream. Kick that shit, goddess. Peace and blessings to you.
Peace and blessings.
Yeah, so I just tapped in, so I kind of get to feel you guys were comparing like natural medicine with, you know, what they're giving us at the pharmacy and everything like that.
We're like, yo, this is the thing, right? When we come to understanding that we are all people, that is 100%, and nobody can disagree with that. But we have to even understand that we are not all the same, and if we understand that, we will love each other and work with each other better, because then we will all understand what each other has to offer. If we don't know ourselves, then we can't give nothing to nobody else. But if you know where you come from, then you can be open-minded to not only learn yourself, because you got to be open-minded to learn yourself. So once you're open-minded to learn yourself and you be infatuated, you'll be open-minded to even learning other things that might be outside of yourself. So that's what we need to learn. Like, okay, I know I'm Scottish. I know I'm British. I know I'm whatever. So learning where I come from, then learning how I start and where I come. Then I would say, damn, black. Then the more deeper you get, to more understanding about even us. So when you learn, it's crazy, but when you start learning you, it always boils down to us. So that will make you know us, because you're not learning just you no more. You're learning where you came from. Understanding, love more, judge less.
Yeah, but a lot of us have a hard time disconnecting from our ego. And you know, you don't want to use the term, because I said that to someone about like killing the ego, and they said you can never do that because the ego is part of who you are. We just have to learn how to disconnect. You know how you deal with somebody, you like, yo, I'm gonna love them from a distance. Like they still family, but you know what I mean? That's how we have to do the ego. And when you do that, you start self-reflecting. And a lot of people don't want to self-reflect because you're gonna see a lot of shit in you. You don't have to take a shroom to see reality. If you start really self-reflecting, you're gonna see yourself in a different light. But then once you pass that part, you're able to really realize who you are and why you're here. Like I tell people, you didn't come here to work no 9 to 5 and all this shit. My whole purpose ain't to be somebody's wife and somebody's mother. It's much deeper than that. And once you start digging, you start realizing, you start looking at life different. You start looking at life through a spiritual eye, not a physical eye. But we have to learn how to let go of materialistic. And we're, you know, most people are chasing microwave results of life. You know, we want everything quick.
That's a
So
fact. And
we
let
have
me
to go
interject
through
right
that
there.
process.
Let me interject right there to once again to second spawn statement. SARS. All right. Do you know what COVID is? COVID is really SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome. Okay. This shit just been repackaged and remarketed to us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I've seen people's you have tested positive for SARS 2, C2, and then it's introduced to you as COVID. All right. Now SARS ain't nothing new. Do you think that this shit came from a wet market when these people have been eating bats for thousands of years? You know. So people, when y'all get your positive test, please read it correctly and understand what's being introduced to us and the okie doke that's being pronounced to us. You know, because COVID is really SARS, man. And I'll fall back right there again. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that virus has definitely been brought back to the lab and been touched up and everything. It's a couple viruses mixed into one. The best you can do is just help, build your immune system, be safe, have common sense. I mean, everything I'm doing now, I've already been doing it. I go outside, I'm just very cautious about bringing germs into my house, regardless if it's the flu or a stomach virus. So we just have to be mindful of what we're doing, how we're treating the body. Don't wait till you in a hospital laid up to say, damn, I got to eat right, or I should be, cutting down on no, you need to be doing that now. And as people of color, we are prone to a lot of different illnesses anyway, especially the way we eat. That soul food ain't nothing but fucking slop that they gave us. The ancestors was very much more in tune with natural ways of eating and things like that. And then they started giving us the slop, the leftovers. So just like I said, just be mindful of how you're treating your body, man.
Word, and let me interject right there, because us, we still carry on that tradition. We eat chitlins,
Yeah,
we eat
nasty shit.
we eat gizzards, we eat, pig's feet. oh, that's the leftovers. Oh, that was the scraps that was given to us. And we still traditionally eat this crap, which is not good for us. And we hold it out as tradition. Now, when I was young, I would eat pig's feet and pig ears. Now, as a grown man, being conscious of myself, what exactly is it is this shit? This shit is just but fat and scraps. You know what I mean? What we were giving the leftovers, and we still carry this as tradition. So we need to think a little bit better and clear our minds. This shit ain't tradition, man. You
See,
know, this is what's killing us,
this is
man.
what is deep though, right? When you go to any tribe, see, imagine this, right? Imagine you come from a jungle where you eat every part of an animal because you have nothing to waste. So you put us on this boat and you bring us and you say, here, take their leftovers. We looking at you like, nigga, we know how to cook this whole thing. You hear what I'm telling you? You're looking at this as leftovers, but we're looking at this as a meal because this is what we're used to. So we get a little bit of onions from outside in that field. We get a little bit of radish. We get a little bit of little carrots. Now we making little soups and little shit like that. They're looking at us like, how the fuck did they take our scraps and make a meal, not knowing if you go to any place that eats food, they always tell you they eat everything. You know why? There's no point of killing it if you're not going to eat all of it, because then it's a waste. And by being a natural person and a person that's spiritual, we don't waste food and we don't kill more than what we need to. So when you see them people kill a goat, trust me, they're not throwing them ears away. Them ears going, they're not throwing that or that ass. I see them make shit soup. Listen, this is something they've been doing for years. Years. Why do you think their teeth look like that in some places? Some places are meat eaters. You go to China, back in the day, I'm talking about in the 808 AD, they was eating frogs. They was eating goddamn all type of shit. Bats, they've been doing that. That's just how they are. They had markets, but we wasn't like that. They're in a different region, different type of people, different type of assets, different type of different things. But the way we doing it now, the way it's packaged now is totally different. If you go to a market in India, you won't see a bacon, egg, and cheese. Like if you go to any place of culture, you won't see that, but you will see a dog. You might see a whole German Shepherd on a plate. You know what I mean? Because they don't look at it the same as we. If you had a cow in your house and you gave it a name, you wouldn't eat McDonald's no more because you would think about your cow at home, wouldn't you? So understand, it's weird, but that's how they train us.
Yeah, and it's different too because like when people, some people have different reasons of why they don't eat meat, but you know, a lot of those animals are in conditions where they're basically being tortured. You know what I mean? Just how they're housed. So when that animal dies, you're consuming that type of energy. And other cultures, I think my husband was telling me how they would
Kosher killing. Kosher.
You know what I mean? That's a little different. You know what I mean? But when I watch shit like that, I'm gonna be real with you. I feel weird sitting down and eating a piece of chicken when I see that. That bugs me out. So even I still cook meat because some people in my family still eat meat. And I'll try to take a piece of it. And my body was like, nah, I can't. Even though I see it and I want it because I want a piece of that wing, my body just won't let me do it. I think
And
it's
and I
disgusting.
And I agree with that because a lot of people, we don't think about where our food comes from. If you see those poultry farms and those pig farms and the horrific conditions these animals live in and the suffering they go through. And now going back, you know, the pig is one of the smartest animals on this land. So imagine how they feel when they're in a cage where they can't even move and they're just there breeding and breeding. And where the chickens, you know, they're bred to have big breasts where they can't even walk because their breasts are so big, which is going back to genetically modification. You know what I mean? So, and now we taking all this in, we're ingesting all this pain and all this suffering, you know, and that makes us part of us because we are what we eat, you know. So people go out there and study what you're eating, you know. It's a little crazy world, you know. Y'all might be saying Don P is a little crazy, but
Nah, nah,
we're ingesting all this hatred, I mean, all this suffering and all this pain too, you know.
imagine
And
eating a Big Mac listening to negative music. You already got a bundle right there of negativity. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a bundle of joy right there. You're eating pain and you're enduring trauma and all. See, all right, this is the thing. How we live here is made that way. It's made to be hateful. is made to show you on internet and news the worst things in life. They don't show you meditation on fucking news. They don't show you that shit. They don't show you ways if you have COVID, how you can keep calm or reach out to people that has natural medicines that might save your life, because we might not have it right now. So if you have people that have natural medicines, try them out. We're trying to save lives. We're not stuck in our, no, just come to us. Don't trust nobody else. Nah, we're trying to save lives. If you can find somebody that has natural medicine, maybe they'll tell us something. You see what I'm saying?
Word.
But they don't think that way. So this is how I know something ain't right. Something ain't right. It's something wrong here. They're really, if this page, I'm gonna tell you some real shit. If I started this page doing pranks, negative shit, my page will boom. You know why? Because more people will watch negativity, because some people even have positive. You ever be in your house and something going good today and you want to watch something negative? Why? You could be chilling today, so I want to watch a fight. For what? Why? What's in your mind, knowing it's a good day, want to bring something like that to the table? So I look at stuff like that because that's you. That is you. You could be chilling in the crib. You might say, yo, I'm going to watch some porn. What the fuck? Why would you think that way? You having a good day. Your mind ain't toxic. Why would you put that toxic in your mind, knowing every toxic thought comes with a toxic action? So
All right, and let me interject right there. And this message is directed towards collard greens, because he preaches that, eat good and live good. Whatever you have going on with Mark, that's between you and Mark, my man. You know what I mean? I see the positive message you preach, and I see where you go wrong, going at people that fuck with Mark, but that's between you and Mark, man. I respect your positive message, and whatever else beyond that is beyond that. You know what I mean? But shout out to you, bro. That's why I don't go at you, man. Much respect to you, because sometimes you're going to have to acknowledge the good. Even like I said, whatever's going on between you and Mark's my man, and I've met Mark in real life, and that's my dude. That's between y'all. You know what I mean? You still have to respect the positive message, and that's real talk right there, man. Rose, what up, bro?
Yeah, but energy is everything, and everything on this planet has energy. Like everything vibrates. So when we go back and we talk about like the animals and consuming them, you are, like Don P said, we're consuming that energy. And for anyone that has ever tried shrooms or any type of psychedelic, anybody will tell you like, yo, you got to make sure your energy is right. You can't listen to like just any type of music, because you're going into a different realm. Like it's everything is more intensified. And they don't want you to be healthy. Like they don't care. Because if they was sea moss, it helps remove mucus. Oh shit. Okay, we have these respiratory issues. They don't care. They don't care about us. They don't care about our children. The school system looks just like the prison system. You understand? So if you don't try to take care and educate yourself or your family, then you just a product of whatever it is they trying to do. And we got a lot of robots walking around. Even in your own family, we look at them and you be trying to share information. The first thing they say is, oh, you crazy. And you the black sheep. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to teach them something and they're just used to their same routine of thinking and eating. They don't want to hear that. They still frying their pork chop. They don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear about no sea moss.
And it ain't easy, man. It ain't easy because we stuck in our way of lives. Even me knowing what I do, I still eat that crap, and
Yeah.
I still indulge in the bullshit and nonsense. So I know it ain't easy, man. It's just, a matter of us gaining strength on our mentality of our physical, we can't knock anybody out there. Our ancestors were okie doke. Our mothers and fathers were okie doke. Our grandparents were okie doke. So now we're being okie doke because this shit is taught down. But it's up to us to wake the fuck up and realize what the hell is going on here, man.
Well, we got to break
And
generational curses, and that's what it is. If you don't break it, it just continues and it goes to your children and it keeps going.
no doubt. And that's why I'm here, That's why I'm here, baby.
When your environment is different, right? And that's
Spawn,
why
Spawn, I'm looking forward to the day you hit that panel, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. I am looking forward because I definitely want to hear what you got to say. Unfortunately, you don't ever jump on here, man, but it will be a blessing, man. It'll be an honor to have you on here and speak your truth, man.
Yeah, it's a
Salute
fact.
to
Hey,
you.
yo, take this, right? I always had like when you've been in hell and you've been in heaven, you can give your example on both, right? If you ever been to heaven and you never been to hell, you can't give your example on hell if you never been there, right? So for me being in jail and being not in jail and having that example, I can say this, right? I seen a lot of dudes go to jail and they turn Muslim, right? When they Muslim in jail, boy, they know the Fatihats, they know the Deen, they know the like all the pilgrimages, and they know how to speak and like all that, right? They become imams and they know the Quran front to back. You got some people going in Christian, change their life for the judge and shit like that. You got some people go get a scholarship and go, not scholarship, but go get like a high school diploma or go get like a GED or try to get carpentry. And you got some dudes that they, since they're Muslims, they don't eat during Ramadan. And so you have an environment that's strict, right? You got all these brothers on the same page. You got dudes that's working out. If you're not working out with these dudes and you slack, you can't work out no more because you're messing up their routine. So everybody has a structure base, right? When you come outside of that jail, there's no structure. So I preach on this a lot because I've seen it. I've seen men go to jail, get their GED, high school diploma, writing love letters, drawing on fucking napkins and shit, on sheet covers and pillowcases, and sending their girls all type of shit they made from cardboard and shit. They're using all their time and their brain to the max, right? And they only doing positive. And you got some dudes that go in there and still do knucklehead shit. Jail don't change everybody. The world doesn't either, right? So even kids don't. So we understand that. But a lot of them stay on the right path. So they go home and they're not around these guys no more. Now, they try to still do the push-ups, but there's no guy that's saying, yo, bro, sets of 10, meet me in the yard. Now your friend is saying, yo, man, meet me outside, nigga. We about to leave. Hurry up. So now you got to rush to do your workout because you got people outside there waiting. So now your routine has changed from not positive, though, to negative. Now, you showed me that in a positive environment, you can do well. And you showed me that in a negative environment, you can do bad. So we're not talking about who's strong and who's weak, because we're all weak, because we all have demons that we still can't accomplish. But this is the key. If our environment was better, then maybe our process will be a lot better because we're all on one accord. That's the key. We all doing the same shit. We don't believe in that. We all with love. Everybody. Yo, we don't believe it. But when people start outside thinking, that causes confusion. When people outside start thinking, nah, man, there we go. Confusion causes destruction. We ain't with that. That's why when you go to those coats, there ain't nobody outside thinking. They got everything in order. It's one chief. That's it. One fucking chief. Now, yo, I can't be chief. Damn, I've been here 4 years. Damn, I can't. All the hate I brung. Damn, I just told you how to open up a shop, and you still can't. You see what I'm saying? You can't have feelings when you're dealing with a structure or a purpose, because it's gonna lead you astray. Your purpose is for a reason. You're here for a reason. Live it out. But if it ain't with something you're comfortable with, what it is, if it's not relatable, it's debatable, and then it comes hateable. So we need to work on that.
And that's something that bothers me too. You know, not everybody's the same. You know, people who let me see. People who criticize others. All right, not everybody's the same. Everybody thinks their own way. You can't force somebody to think like you. You know what I mean? If they don't think like you, will respect the man's thoughts, man, instead of criticizing him and attacking him. Not everybody's the same. You see, that's that sheep mentality. When you don't agree with certain people, then they attack you because they roll with the sheep mentality. That's what goes on in democracies. America's a republic. You know what I mean? We were based on law. In a democracy, mob rules. So the majority rules the vote over the minority. Whether the majority is wrong or not, the majority rules, you know? And that's something that I hate about YouTube, that people don't look past and respect other people's thoughts and opinions. You know, you just gotta let a person be dumb. If that's the way they think and that's their train of thought, let them be dumb, man. Not everybody's like you. Not everybody's gonna be like you. So don't force anybody to be like you. Let them be them. Don't criticize them. Respect their opinion, you know, and if it's based on falsity and not on fact, then go ahead and oppose them. But if they're speaking their mind, and if their mind is based on a little bit of facts, then come on, man, leave them alone, man. You know, this sheep mentality needs to stop, man. Everybody needs to start thinking for themselves, because I believe this is some bullshit why everybody be on here thinking, man. You know, not everybody's like you. So don't, everybody's not going to think like you. So don't criticize those that think the opposite of you, man.
Right.
Respect their opinions and their thoughts, man. And that's something that I don't like on here, you know? And I just had to say that.
You want to say something, Goddess?
Now go ahead. I mean, I know how to chime in. I'll be listening.
Yo, this how I
I
look
mean,
at
I
it, right?
think, I mean,
Go ahead,
the
babe.
thing I can say, on that, I mean, like, I always use this example, like when Jesus was walking through these cities, I don't think he really was trying to like judge, and I don't think he cared who was agreeing or not. Like he was just spreading the message. So I had to understand, like Don P said, you can't expect, especially family, to think like you. Just because you're woke don't mean they're going to be on that same frequency. You know what I mean? Like my mom is from the South and she's very much stuck in her ways. And some people might like not like me saying this, but a lot of people have slave mentalities. Like they believe in the system, they believe in the government, they believe the news and all that. They believe in the pharmacy, the pharmaceuticals. So I call that like a slave mentality. But I've learned that just because you're not thinking like me, or you're not, I don't have to judge you or be disrespectful or anything like that. Like that's not what we should be doing. Because now you're giving negative, and you're just giving bad energy to yourself and that person.
And that's the fact, man, because I know my mom is saying, like, what in you? And I look at this, and a lot of people, if you grew up in a household where everybody's the same, what made you think outside the box? Like, when I look at it as who was talking to me questioning things when I didn't even know why I was questioning things. Like, so if my mom said to all these kids, and they'll say, guess what? There's an Easter bunny coming. Everybody like, oh, Easter bunny, what it looks like. And then it said, look, it's a big bunny and it leaves eggs out for you and it has prizes in them. Everybody like, oh my God, prizes. I'm like, a bunny that laid eggs? Like, that don't make sense. So when I asked my mom, like, Mom, yo, like, you know what I mean? Like, I never seen no bunny. Like, I throw chicken legs, and she would get mad. And like, boy, if you don't just tell me to go off somewhere. So now I'm stuck with non-questions. So I'm like, okay, she maybe can't answer that. So now I'm asking all these questions, and it's aggravating her because I'm different. So instead of me being different, I'm bad. So when a parent tells you you're bad, I'm thinking, what comes with being bad? Bad actions. So now you just can't tell me I'm bad. I got to show you I'm bad too to live up to the name you're giving me. So as a child, you can manipulate. So I can just imagine what the system do. My mom is nowhere near big as the system. She can't even think as big as the system. So imagine what the system can do if my mom can do something. So that's deep. So I look at the system and say, hold on. Dinosaurs. How did T-Rex, how y'all come up with that name? Like how you come up with Triceratops and all these names? They didn't even have a name back in the day. Like you gave it to them. Why would you give them a name? So you can define them? Like why are you even digging them up? Like why are you even taking them out of there and putting them in display? Why don't you leave them there? I guarantee if an African right now found the dinosaur bone, he wouldn't dig it up. He'll just leave it there. Like, oh, look at that shit and tell everybody and whatever. But if he can get some money, maybe he'll probably tell America. But other than that, he
Have
wants
they?
to.
Go ahead, babe.
Nah, go ahead.
No,
Like
I
my
was
brother.
going to ask you because you was talking about bones and stuff. I said, have they ever found anybody out the Bible? Have they ever dug up anybody's bones that was in the Bible?
Hell no.
We got a troll in here. Yo, bro, laughing my ass off. I'm part white and I'm half alien. My Italian Rican ass. LMAO, though. Hit that link, bro. Let's discuss it, man. Stop hiding the fucking behind a troll account, man. You know,
Now,
let's
I mean,
let's speak on some real shit.
at the end of the day, my dad was Italian, Irish, and Native American, but he was white. But that's what he had in him. So to speak about white people is not to speak as to be a racist or be disrespectful, because my dad is white. We're just speaking facts. And when it comes to culture and everything that I'm pretty sure you guys were talking about in the beginning, that's just what it is. And I'm on my other live right now, and I was asking them the same thing. Like, they don't really have culture the way people of color do. They don't.
Why?
They was rocking when we watched what we watched yesterday, babe. They came out, they never seen a white man before, but they have the feathers, they have the piercings, they do the tattoos. Like, you know what I mean? Like, white people don't have like a lot of culture with them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a little different.
Like, why though? See, that's the answer. Like, why?
Like, they always come in and want to take and rape and mimic and let me learn your language. Let me do this. Let me do that. Won't you stay the fuck over here? Like, I was showing people on Bigo when they went over to the Pygmy tribe and took the young boy Ota. His name is Ota Binga, because I got the book. And that's when they started the first zoo that held black people in the Bronx. And they had this young boy. He was only 23 years old, 4 feet, 11 inches, 105 pounds. And they had him living with those gorillas. And when he died, they said he committed suicide.
Yeah.
You see, that's something that's confusing. You know, the word, the white people and black people or melanated people, that's something that's confusing. You know what I mean? So that's why I try to break it down to spirit. You know, what's in your spirit? Are you good or are you bad? Because I'm not saying all white people are bad. Evil exists in all of us, whether no matter what color we are. Wickedness exists. Go ahead.
Let's get real. I want to ask a real question, and it might knock people off, and I'm cool with that. But I just like to get to real shit. Do you think white people have a soul?
I believe some white people will have a soul too.
No. See, look, see, I can't say
All
some.
right.
I'm just saying in general, just because they're nice or they love black people or they can do certain things or they can dance a little bit, that don't take one.
All right, I'm not gonna take away none from white people because I have met some good white people, non-racist, and they will look out for anybody.
Yes,
and I've
100%.
met white people that have love for culture, and I have met white people that feel bad for what has been done to our people, and they look out for our people because it's just something in their mind that they progress ahead, and they, even though they know their history, they try to look out for us that have been taken advantage of. You know what I mean? That's why I try not to be on. That's it's.
You got to stutter.
Shit.
So you know what it is.
Do white people have a soul? I have met white people with love and love for humanity. So I'm not gonna say they don't have a soul.
Soul love is a different thing.
All right. So let's break down soul. Let's break down the definition of soul. Let's break everything down.
Energy.
The frequency. And like I said, you know, in written record and what people's mainstream belief is, the white people were the devil because they was the ones that set out to conquer the world. But I can't say that they don't have a soul or not. I can't say whether white people have a soul or not. You know, we're all humans. We might have a soul.
And you lose your soul.
All right. Well, when you lose your soul, then you have no love for anything. You out for yourself. All right. Now, so that's when the wickedness, because you have no love for anything, is because you have nothing to live for. So you're soulless. You have no empathy, no sympathy, or love for the next man. So that's being soulless.
So look, okay. If you have a white child, right? And me and you is white, but we come from 30 generations of wickedness. Do you think process would make a kid eventually feel soulless, but feels like I feel lost? Like, all right, I'm white, and I notice like something is different. Like I feel African music. Like I just love something, but I'm lost. Like, cause it feels like my soul has been taken because of all the wickedness my generation of parents have did to make me born with less of a soul. But if you were, remember they say how you are when a female is pregnant and how you treat them and stuff like that can conflict on how the baby is born. So if you live with a people that's Vikings and you live with people that are slaughterers like that, and they have children, when they do come here from generations, would you think they have a soul? Because their whole generation has been soulless to be in power. So when you need to fire somebody, You can be soulless. Like, sorry, John, you got to go. Or, yeah, we got to tear down this building. And we have occupants in it, but they got to go. Give a black person that job. It's kind of
And to
hard.
speak and to speak on that, I have met white people like that, that down
That's
here in
up.
the South, that they've been racist. You know, their ancestors have been racist generation after generation. But now that I meet them, even though their ancestors was racist and they admit to them being racist, um, they still are willing to, you know, intermingle or procreate with melanated people, regardless of what their ancestors think. And I think that's a bridge that's breaking down, you know, that hatred and that racism. People finally realizing that we're all, you know, some of us are all the same, regardless. So that's why it's a touchy situation and it's difficult between that. You know, it's a thin line. It's a thin line, and that's the way I see it. Maybe y'all haven't experienced what I have experienced, but it's a thin line. Um, if that makes sense to y'all.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I've met, like I said, I've met white people who, even in high school, their parents were like, nah, don't date no black people, don't date no Hispanics or Latino. But they themselves ain't listening to their parents, even though
Yeah.
they might lose their inheritance and their money because their parents feel that, you know, you shouldn't be interacting with these people, but they interact with us and love us and procreate with us. So that's why I say it's more a line between, you know, the energy, whether the good or bad, because I've met white people that are wicked. I met white people that are good. I've met melanated people that are, you know, a little wicked. I met
How many
melanated
black
people that was
people?
good.
How many black people? And don't matter what state. I mean, what country or what place in the world. What black people are intrigued with dating white people, other than coming to America getting a visa? Like what like if you was Indian and you had like Indian culture like Buddhism or Hinduism, whatever, and you say, you know what, I'm gonna get with a white girl. Would your family accept that? Now, no, because of what they grew up on, right? But again, what I'm saying is that's natural for them not to want to mate outside of their race naturally. White people don't have that. They want to. Like they are open minded to it. Like, you know what? It's not like Jamaicans or Africans say, yo, we about to go to America, man. Mad white girls. Only saying it because of money and because of other things, not by love. Like, yo, I love the culture. I love everything about them. I know about King Arthur. I know about all the British. I know about Europe. I learned everything about them so much because I love them. I don't really know about black culture. All I learned about is white. I don't see that, but I
All
do see
right.
black dudes messing with white girls because not because of their culture. Is be saying, yo, I love square dancing. Yo, I love rodeoing. Your girl loves horses, but you're not fucking with horses. I mean, I ain't fucking with that horse. I ain't feeding that motherfucker. So why are you with her if y'all don't even share the same likings of things? But when it comes to money or coming to looks or Instagram or to outside of public eye, y'all look good together, but y'all don't share the same soul.
You
So
see, and it's almost like a revolving door because I understand when melanated people or what you call black people don't agree with mixing their races. So I understand about self-preservation.
yes,
You understand? So self-preservation is important. And I think it should exist, self-preservation, you know? So me, I'm a different type of individual, you know, to each their own, but you got to understand both sides of the scale and without prejudice or without judgment, you got to understand both sides of the scale. And without prejudice or judgment, I understand both sides of the scale, you know?
I already know.
So if you with self-preservation, I'm with that. Self-preserve yourself. If you're with, you know, intermingling, then that's up to you. You know, but you gotta respect both sides. You know, what makes me God to judge anybody? You know, what makes gives me the power to judge anybody. If that's what you think, that's what you think. That's why I say live and let live. If that's the way that man wants to live, well, let him live. Even though we might think a different way or our knowledge is different, but it is what it is, man.
All right, now,
You
all right, I'm
know?
gonna ask, all right, now this is deep too. I was just thinking about this. If you was a Hebrew and you lived with the say Israelites and Hebrews and you look at all those back in the day when you say Jesus, like when people say Jesus walking around, right? If Jesus saw a Hebrew and an Israelite dating, I don't think Jesus would care. right? Jesus say, as long as they love each other, that's all I care about. And if they worship
Okay.
him. Now, this is what we would say Jesus would do, because we would say Jesus is an all-loving man, right? This is what we'll say. If we go off not what Jesus said and how the world was, it'd be totally different, right? So we're going, Jesus was a man that was holy, spiritual, loving, understanding, and he spent most of his times in bad places to get the people in Babylon to realize what they was doing will be judged. So he had to go to places that was bad to show people you will be judged for your sins, like let my people go, and showing people miracles by putting mud on blind people's faces, and Mary Magdalene and all this crazy shit, walk with, like the little different things that they said about this man, right? So I'm thinking to myself, if this man was so holy at this time, why is it that people still to this day don't look for another one? Like,
All right,
go ahead,
and
bro.
to interrupt right there, I look myself at my own life because yes, I was about self-preservation. You know, when I was looking to procreate and produce a child, I wanted to procreate and produce a child with a person of my own people, a Caribbean person, a Puerto Rican woman, a Dominican woman. You know, I love dark-skinned Dominican women, and but it just so happens that I fell in love with a Korean woman, and I procreated with a Korean woman, you know, even though those were my thoughts. So love overpowered that self-preservation shit. You know, my emotions overpowered that. So that's why I try not to judge anybody, because I look at myself. Yeah, I was into self-preservation. Yeah, let's preserve our culture. But look what happened to me. Love
Love has
overcame
no
that.
color.
And
Look, all right, love has no
and
color.
now I have a Korean son, you know. So who am I to judge, you know?
It's different from understanding, and it's different from hate, right? I understand what love is, but I hate it when people say they love something when their actions don't show that. So it's like, I love this race, but you're not showing how much you love it. Um, I don't. You never thought you would be with a Korean woman, but something about that woman sparked you different than anything in the world, and made you look at things and observe things and become aware. Love is blind, right? So you can't knock love. But I don't want people just to find somebody with a different race and just be with them for not only the comfortabilities or the benefits that come with it. Because if you put love in it, then you're willing to deal with everything that comes with it. But when you put comfortability in it, you're going to go from person to person. Because once you're uncomfortable,
Correct.
you're going to go around.
And
And
that's a thin line because
you're hurting people doing it.
love is love, and certain people would choose a different race just to change their genetics, or maybe I should procreate with this person because my children will have a certain color hair or a certain type of body skin. So that's something different that goes into, you know, that's almost like a sin,
Yo,
damn near.
back in the day, I know, man, we all remember this era, and we're not going to say it was a lie. It was a time where black women didn't want to have sex with dark skinned guys because they didn't want their baby to come out black as hell. Now tell me if I'm
and
lying.
and and that's a fact because, you know, me growing up in the hood, mostly amongst black folks, I heard a lot of women, you know, black melanated women saying, "Oh, I would rather procreate with a Puerto Rican
Yep.
or white dude so my sons could have fair
Good
skin or
hair.
better hair."
Yep.
You know,
Good fucking hair.
that's like self-hatred. You know what I mean? And so I understand the psychology behind that, you know, and I can speak about it because I'm not oblivious to
Yo,
it because
I
I
see
lived
these
through this
black
shit.
women. I see these black women, right? 45-inch hair. Silk. Motherfucker straight than a motherfucking horse. That's not even you, baby. It's not even you. You
and
could never
and
have hair like that.
and the thing that's sad is we think good hair is straight hair, but good hair is hair that's coiled. You understand?
Yeah, and I
Good
feel
hair
bad
is
sometimes because I was speaking to, you know, a melanated woman, and I said that good hair shit. And after I said that, I was like, damn, does she feel disrespected that I said that? You know, because the shit is touchy. It's a touchy situation, you know, and not for that, but like my son right now, he wants to have spiky hair. And I tell him like, yo, puff up your hair, get an afro, show off your curls, bro. This is your natural hair. You don't have to be like anybody else, man. Just like me. When I was younger, I would comb out my hair, my shit will puff up into a fro. So it's fucked up. That's why it leads back to psychology and your train of thought. Why would you want to fit the main street hype? Why would you want to procreate with somebody who's different just so your children could be different? It's psychology. It's almost like self-hatred, and we were taught to hate each other, and to hate our looks. And
Yeah, but
that's
you
what it
have to
boils down
ask
to, man.
yourself. But see, this is the thing. You guys were saying earlier about good white people and all that. Yes, there is good white people. It's not about the good white people. It's about their record of their history. And they are the ones that has taught us to hate how we look. Do you know that women started wearing head rags and headscarves because white women felt intimidated by a dirty black slave because their white husband were looking at those women, those black women, and they told them to cover their hair. Okay, this is research. I don't know how I bumped this, but I was doing research on it. And black women started freaking it. They started wrapping their hair with different scarves. That's where that came from, for us wearing scarves on top of our head, because white women that were clean, nice clothes were intimidated by these black women that were slaves. If you look at the ascended masters, the prophets, they were all black. Most of them came from India. The only one that was white that they tried to fool us and tell us was white was Jesus. But we know he was not white. So we're just talking about history of where do they come from? What is their purpose? Because it's just very awkward. It's very weird, like just how they are. They don't really have the best record in history or now. So it's not about, well, there's good white people. Yes, there is. But we're not talking about the good white people. We're just talking about where they come from. You understand why are their intentions always to come in and invade and take? Most inventions was from black people. You understand what I'm saying? We never really
No doubt. Let me interject right there. Going back to history, there is really no Caucasian culture. The culture came from us. The culture came from us, and that's a fact. We created culture. So I understand where you're coming from.
So it's never. I know you guys say, "Oh, there go Knowledge and his wife talking about white people." Yeah, I don't understand. We sit here and learn and break down a lot of different things, and it always goes back to people that are white, of where did they come from, what is their purpose. Like I said, all the ascended masters are black. Most of them are from India. None of them are white. They tried to tell us Jesus was white, but he's not white. So I'm just trying to understand, you know what I mean, a little bit of, because their record is not good.
Well, when they make those statements, it's based on ignorance, because they don't know their history. They haven't studied their history. That's why, like, going back to my statement, know thyself, know who you are, know where you came from.
Is there any white mummies? Like, I be
Not
looking
that
at you
I
like
know
that. Is there any white mummies? Like, if any mummies that was found Caucasian? Like, I be looking at these, nobody think like that.
I know, because your mind just think beyond.
You know what I mean? So yeah, different. First of all, how are you born in Africa with us when you can't even take the same heat as us? Like, you start really thinking, like, are you even born from the same God? Like, you really, like, we're all from the same people. Why is your skin?
Don DeMarco,
Yep.
Don
Knowledge,
DeMarco.
your panels come under scrutiny, man. I'm about to get shot down
Don
tomorrow, bro.
DeMarco.
Word up. This is like one of
Yeah,
the.
bro, I be really thinking, like, okay, yo, is there, like, they're always white? Like, I've never found a black, like, anthropologist, or like a black dude that looks for dinosaur bones, or a black woman that cares about that shit. Like, I've never seen a black woman that says, you know what, I go looking up Egyptian Texas. No, if they are, they're from Egypt and they're translators for the white man, and they make money for doing that. Like, you ever notice how many white jockeys you ever seen? Like, you look at this, like, yo, bro, like, I be really thinking, like, for real, like, there's no white mummies? None? Y'all was here around that time. How was y'all dying? Y'all wasn't mummifying? Like, how was y'all dying back in those days if y'all was around? Where's y'all bones at? How did they look? Was y'all technology as advanced as us? We was mummifying ourselves with gold and arches, and y'all over there in Europe with a regular fucking tombstone with a fucking cross. So that's
why
you're not intelligent as us, because we was already thriving even on morgues. So how is it that black people started a bombing fluid and injection and cutting the eyeballs out and all these things like that, but we own no morgues today? Not one black person own a fucking morgue.
All right, that's why people need to get out their feelings and go into history and study the facts. At what point did the Caucasoid come into existence on this planet or into our history? Of course, you know, our history goes back down to melanated people. So that's why I study. At what point did the Caucasoid come into existence? You know what I mean? And that shit that I study. At what point did the Caucasoid come into existence and start trying to conquer the world and take over the world? So those are certain things that we have to study. We have to study our history. We have to study anthropology. You know, with our
theory?
With our feelings being based aside, whether they came from a cave or whether they were genetically brought forth in the pyramids in South America, like the Moors believe that the Europeans, you know, they came here because they were melanated people mixed with a monkey that's not in existence anymore because the monkey won't exist. So that's why we can't prove it. So regardless of the fact, we got to go back and study our history and come to our own conclusions, you know, because that's something. Hold on a second. That's something that I study myself. At what point did the Caucasoid came into existence into this point? And at what point did they become a part of history? And at what point did they come in? Was and then going back to the Bible, was the experiment of Adam and Eve? Was that the experiment of the Caucasoid coming forth on this land?
I'm about to fuck you up, Don P.
Go ahead, fuck me up, man.
Listen. My wife already know this, so I don't want nobody to feel offended. Nobody feel offended because this is how I think. This is how I think. Don't judge me because I'm a stone cold niggazoid, a negrozoid. You see what I'm saying? Stone cold. I'm from the negrozoid tribe. You see what I'm saying?
I know you're a racist, knowledge. I know you're a racist, but go ahead. Come on.
I'm about to be real. A lot of black people gonna like this one because I'll be just real with everything. I know a lot of black dudes. A lot. You about to see laughing, shorty. No, I know a lot of black dudes who like monkeys. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Fuck you talk about. Built like them, shaped like them, like a straight. What the fuck? Like my man look like a straight gorilla. Don't lie. Beard. You can look at a dude right now and be like, oh shit, my man do like a little. There's so many different monkeys. I've seen spider monkeys. I've seen chimpanzees, gorillas, silverbacks. I've seen so many dudes upstate, like he look just like Caesar. He look just like Cobra. He look just like, you can't lie. I'm not trying to, I don't give a fuck. I told niggas in front of their face. And she'll tell you that. Like, you like
I said it too, and I admitted to it. But
now look, how many white people look like monkeys? None. This is what's deep to me.
Well, like, hold on a second. Let me interject right there, because monkeys don't have big lips like melanated people. If you look at the monkey,
big lips in general.
Hold on a second. The Caucasian looks more like a monkey than the All right. Well, hold on a second. It boils down to: do you believe you came from a monkey?
I ain't saying no shit like that. But this is what I am saying.
Oh no, hold on a second. No. Answer yes or no. Right, do you believe you came from a monkey? No, knowledge. Don't hold on a second, knowledge.
Not that monkey.
Don't dance around. Hold on a second, knowledge. Don't dance around my question. Do you believe you came from a monkey?
I don't believe it was a monkey. I don't think that was. I don't believe the monkey that we're looking at is the same monkey they fucking talking about. Like I don't think back in those days. Like look. If you go back, just say 7 million years ago, just say this planet 7 million years ago, before people, just say this. It was just say motherfuckers that was like living in trees. I'm not saying it's a fact. Just say if everything, just say it was a cold front. It was a bad cold front. And they had to go from the trees to the land and learn how to adjust. As years went on, through generation. That wasn't the same monkey. That was just evolution. That monkey would never exist because it wasn't a fucking monkey. It ain't the same thing. It was just a part of evolution. But it was just a time that was way back in the day. So that monkey will never exist because we evolved from something that started from something that started from
You
something that
see,
started from
I
something.
don't believe in evolution because there's nothing new under the sun. Ain't nothing evolving. Ain't nothing evolving. So how come all the monkeys ain't evolving to humans?
It's
You
not
know?
no. I see. That's what I'm saying. Those monkeys that we're looking at, like yo, that's a monkey. That is a monkey. But I'm saying what they're saying, like Homo sapiens and fucking all those. If you look at those people, if you was there 4 million years ago with
No.
all the lack of
Tell
resources
him I
and the
said I
lack of
came from a
knowledge,
chicken
and there
tender.
was a person here with
Tell
all
him I
these
said I
wants,
came from a chicken
he would
tender.
have like
Tell
caveman
him I said I
mentality.
came from a chicken
That's what I'm
tender
saying. Like
because
if
my
you
mom
go
was
back to
chicken
the
tender.
original man, that man still lived original,
Tell
and
him,
we
tell
would
him.
call it caveman era. Some men never seen the
8%,
light,
8%.
other than what they make out
Tito,
of fucking
Tito,
tree bark and out of
Tito.
amber,
It's
but they never
8%
seen a
right now.
match. So they still live like a kind of a caveman type, but that's
Exactly,
us.
because that's where the mixing link comes from.
But
They
that's
try
us.
to they try to how you say justify their science, history, and theories. Science, history, and their theories because these are theories. It's not guaranteed that we came from monkeys because the missing link is
It's
still
not a
there,
guarantee.
and
It's not a
and the
guarantee.
missing link is still there. You know, so these scientists and anthropologists are thoughts. These are
If we're
their
not
theories.
if we're not
Charles
born,
Darwin, right?
if we wasn't born
Charles
through
Darwin?
generation, just evolution, then that must mean it was a creator. Now this is where it gets deep.
Can I
See, when
say
we talk
something?
about a physical
Can I say
being, now
something?
we're not talking about evolution no more. That's out of the way. That's
Coco,
we're not believing in God
Coco.
then, because we're
All
believing
right,
in
no,
just
no, no. I believe in a
the world.
creation. That's why when I introduce you the Fibonacci, fingerprint, which is the swirl, the hurricanes, the way the water goes down, that shit on our head, the way our hair grows. So that's why I believe there was a creation because things are similar. That's almost like relativity, you
So
know. So
if we
that's
was
why
created, we was created.
You believe in
I believe
Anunnaki?
in a creator. I
You
don't
believe in
believe in evolution.
Anunnaki? You believe in Anunnaki?
Hold on, we got Rich here. What's up, Rich?
Who
Go ahead,
believe
talk
in
to them, Rich.
Anunnaki?
Talk to them.
Who believe in Anunnaki? Anunnaki, we have come.
Oh shit, I don't think y'all ready for it. But anyways, like I say, our ancestors here in America believe we were here since God created us, since the beginning of time, you know, and what we here since the beginning of time was this one continent like Pangea, and we split because we have history here in America that predates African history. So who are we to say where civilizations and where man started from? I believe um, Brazil was the cradle of civilization, not in Africa. Because if we have pyramids here that predate the African pyramids, and we have more pyramids here in America than we have in other continents, so let's question where civilization came from. You know, and I hate to take us off topic, but is that something that I think about? If we have the oldest pyramids here, so and they predate the Egyptian pyramid, so where's our history before the Egyptians?
Tell them, why did the Egyptians have eggheads? Yo, why they had
Hello,
eggheads?
can y'all hear me?
I hear you, bro. I hear you.
Tell them, why the
And
Egyptians?
like I said, that's just my opinion, and those are just based on facts. It's just based on facts. And like I said, according to the Moors, and the Moors creed, the Caucasoid was made here in America, and those pyramids, which there weren't, burial chambers, there were scientific institutions where genetic manipulation was being brought forth, you know? Um, so I wasn't there, so I can't definitely say this is what happened, but we have to study everything and put everything into perspective and do the knowledge and come up with our own theories. Everybody's different. Did I lose y'all on there? Did I go all over the place?
No, I'm still here. Baby, still here?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh,
I'm
so what are
listening
your
to
thoughts?
him, and I was also listening to the guy in the background because the guy was asking about the Egyptian with the egghead. I was waiting for an answer to why they did have those type of heads because I don't know.
Because and those misshaped heads were here in America. They were here first before they went to Egypt. So
Yeah,
there's a
I
lot of
did
things.
see some kids. Babe, remember that documentary we seen where those kids were coming out with those head shapes like that?
Yeah,
like the almost like Conehead. You know what I mean? Type
and that's
of
how you think they got the movie from. You know what it is,
yeah.
right? It's this world that we live in. You can never answer the questions because your mind can't even think that deep. You forget what you need to get at the grocery store. So it's
Yeah.
hard for the even you can think. Don't get me wrong, because your brain is crazy. If you've seen
All
Lucy,
right, let me interject right there. Let me address this troll. I'm sorry about Lucy. But what's your source, Don P? Exactly. All right. So Mark Barker, I know you're a troll, but go back to the Mayan pyramids and look at what's on their walls. All right. It's melanated people, dark people. It ain't these people that you see that they call Native Americans, which were melanated people mixed with Mongolians. All right. Do the history, bro. Look at the facts. Don't let these people tell you what your history is, man. Look at the facts. Study what's on the walls. Study what was going
yeah,
on
but
back then.
only you can't make nobody care about something they don't care about themselves. So when you care, you'll do the research. If somebody else gotta make you care about something that you don't, you know what I mean? So I care about this. Wells, Don P, and God, well, we care about this. That's why we know so much of it. You might
And
know
that's why we
a
do our
lot about
research
fucking Bob
because
Barker. You probably know how to make 35 fucking Google accounts in 5 minutes. I don't know how to do that, but you do. So you choose to spend your time learning that or learning how to build sneakers, or that's what you spend your time on. We spend our time learning. So don't try to say where you get your research from, because if you would did your own research, then you wouldn't question his. But that's
word.
what
And
you're
let me
trying to
let me
do.
let me let me speak a little bit about something. All right, like the word hurricane. The hurricane came here from America. That was from our people, the huracan. All right. The word canoe came from our people here in America, canoa. All right. So we speak in syllables. All right. Just like the hammock. The hammock came from America, the hamaca. And through our culture, we still call our vegetables what our ancestors called them, like the batata, like the yuca. You see how we spoke? We spoke in syllables. All right. Just like huracan, just like canoa, just like hamaca. You understand? So I've studied my history. If you studied whatever the fuck you saw on TV, then that's on you. But I have studied mine. What have you studied? What can you bring forth from the Americas? Tell me about that.
If we all looked at each other and say, you know what's crazy? We're all American, right? We just don't like it because what name comes with it, right? For us. But that's what we are. We all, if you see a white person in Africa, you like, yo, man, you white? You like, nah, nigga, I'm African, right? You seen a white dude in Jamaica, you like, yo, bro, you white? You like, nah, I'm Jamaican, right? He's going off where he's from. So if a person from Jamaica say, yo, you black, I'm like, nah, I'm American, right? So what happens is if we all looked at each other in one way, then we would treat each other with better love. But when you start separating us with color, then we're not looked at each other the same. But if you go to other countries, and if he's white and he's lived in India his whole life, he not only knows the language, he knows about the culture, and he knows everything about it because he lives here. The thing about it is we
Let
know
me interject one more time. Let me interject one more time. Um, Mandela was the first African president, right, or whatever. So these white people claim to be Africans, South African and African. Are they really Africans? Did they originate there, or it's just they call themselves Africans because they were born there
they
and they
call
were
themselves
raised
African
there?
because I'm gonna keep it real. When you're, I talked to a couple of white Africans, you know what I mean, and they really believe they're African. Like they really eat fufu and they really eat all the black food. If I gave a black person right now some fufu and I'm like, yo, bro, try this with with the yoka, with the, what is it called? When it's the slimy one, the slimy part, the
the
slimy version. What's the version? What's the slimy fruit vegetable? Okra, right?
okra.
Yeah, if I say, yo, I'm gonna give you some fufu with some okra, you know what I mean? Niggas like, I'm not eating that shit. Shit slimy as hell. But this white dude, he's African. He's eating it. He don't even know the difference. He's like, man, this is my shit. It's funny that he'll eat the African food before you will, and you're black. See, that's the difference. You would take in the knowledge, but won't even eat it. You won't even eat. Like me and my mans go to the African shop in Albany. Shit is expensive than a motherfucker, and I've showed it on lives. The food tastes way different. Or you continue eating that? No, you're not. You would think black, but live white. But when it comes to living black, it's like, do I have to eat that? A yucca potatoes. I don't want no yucca potatoes. Damn, I gotta eat greens. Think I ain't no rabbit. But that's what they eat. That's what your culture eats. See, that's the difference. So you can think. That's what I'm saying. It don't go off just how you think. It goes off how you act, your character. All he knows is tribal music. All he knows is African language. He only knows African. He doesn't know nothing about racism. He's African. He heard about it, but it's not enough white people colonizing Congo or that. You know what I mean? He don't see it. Now you go to South Africa, it's totally different. You know what I mean? It's morally white, so their process is totally different. But we ain't gonna talk about the same white guy in Nigeria. Two different mindsets. So that shows me your environment makes a big fucking difference. Like I said about jail. Like I said about if you grew up.
Hold on a second. Let me interject right there. Your environment makes a big difference because you see these people that live in these islands and these places that are, well, people will consider third world countries, and they're not brought forward in technology or, well, how we would say, mainstream. They eat what they were supposed to eat, and look how long they live. They live 110 years old, 120 years old. You know,
how many white people live that old?
So you got to study that. You got to study that. You know, when people adapt.
Those people are still, and you're right about that, Don P. Because I was just watching something, and I think it was some village. It was Chinese, and they were so old. But when you're in your original environment and your culture, it's a big difference.
There you go.
We're talking about culture and color.
You go.
Because I watched this woman. And she was a Moor. I forgot her name. I can't think of her name. But she said black. That doesn't mean anything. Like, you talk about culture with, like, black. That's just, it doesn't mean anything. You understand what I'm saying? So
that was brought forth to cause confusion. That was brought forth to cause confusion, the black and the white shit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We do have common sense to know that when you're less melanated, you know, it's just different when you're in the sun. It's different with everything, with your organs, your body, etc. But when you're in your original environment, your culture, it's very different. If you're in Puerto Rico, I'm pretty sure you're going to have a better diet. You're going to get more sun. You come over here, you live in New York, you're out your original environment. So you might have chopped off 10 years just from changing your environment because you're not supposed to be in this type of weather or this type of atmosphere. You understand?
And that's a fact because I look at my family in Puerto Rico, even though we share the same genetics, they are much darker than me, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And how come I'm white? How come I'm lighter?
Because I'm not in that sun.
Exactly.
Listen,
because
we disappear when the sun go away because we get light as hell. We supposed to be in the sun and that golden brown and everything, but you know.
Exactly. And that shit is built into our genetics, just like a bird. The mother bird doesn't show the baby bird how to build a nest. The mother flies out. That shit is built into the bird's genetics, you know. And just like in certain biological aspects, the parent doesn't show the child how to build things or how to do this. It's built into their genetics, you know.
I don't want to go off concept of what y'all was saying, but Don P said something. And like I said, I'm a thinker. That's
and before I was woke, when I was dead of fucking sleep, and you know, in 1995 and 1996, and I would sit in the sun, and people would be like, "Yo, why you sit in the sun?" And I used to tell them it's to energize myself, even though I wasn't woke, but this is something that was instilled in my soul. Sit out there in the sun because the sun's gonna energize you. The sun's gonna give you power. The sun's gonna give you this.
I don't be disrespect for no females. But I'm about to say something that might be a little bit. When Don P said something, I thought of something that was. I noticed female animals make dudes do more than real people. What I mean is, females, birds or gorillas or whatever, some dudes gotta fight. They gotta prove they want this. Some birds, think of this, have to dance. Listen to this shit. No music. No music, just some bird cooter right there. That's all it is. It's a line of male birds. Listen to this shit. A line of them. And it's one female watching them. If she does a certain move, that'll let that bird know she chose you. Listen to this shit. Even female animals don't let men just give it up. They just don't give it up. Even female animals, you have to work for it as a man. Think about this shit. And it shows strength, dancing, creativity. A dude's what I'm gonna tell you something. We could be two lines, me and Don P, and we can see God is Naiku and her man, and she has 5 cubs. If me and Don P, he's the think about this. How is it that even lions having a leader? Think about this shit. Don P's the leader. I'm following him. How do I know he's the leader? Why can't we both be leaders? Even a lion knows, yo, he's the leader, man. He's more, you know what I mean? He's walking. He see God is Naiku with our cubs. If I beat him up, that's my girl, and I kill his cubs. Listen to that shit. That's how she look. He got no. He won it. He won it. He took out the big dude, and he won that. Now, females, you ain't even gotta fight. You ain't gotta do shit. All you gotta do is bring a check home, and you ain't even gotta do that. You ain't even gotta. Even animals require more from each other than humans. Think of that shit, yo.
Because we strayed away from our ways, you know, like you said, the song and dance and the feathers and all of that. Well, that, you know, that goes back to being healthy. Look at this bird. Look at his wings. Look how he looks. You know, he's healthy. He's the one the female's gonna choose to procreate because he's the man out of the pack, you know. But now
If you had a daughter live right now and she's 16, 15, and we was in our old ways, and I'm 23, and I say, yo, I need your daughter. You've been preparing her since she was fucking 7. Cook, clean, wash, everything as a young age. The dad would say, you can't have her unless you can pay. And I would say, okay, I got 7 goats and 3 buffalo. She's gone. Pew, out the door. They don't have the same ways of thinking as we do. Why is that?
They don't have the same attachment. They don't have the same attachment.
It's an unnatural way of thinking. You know, it's it's natural selection. All right, that's why everybody gets a trophy now. There's no more MVPs. Even if you go out there and you outwork the team and you are a second baseman and you catching balls in left field and right field, everybody gets a trophy. It doesn't now. So now, you know, the one that outshines everybody else. Now you're like everybody else, bro. Speaking metaphorically.
And I'm not saying I don't want that for my daughter.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird?
It is.
I don't want that for my daughter either. But I'm just saying.
I know
it's weird.
I know the difference between, okay, if I was brought up to say a woman's purpose is really only to say she's going to be a warrior, she's going to be a gatherer, or she's going to be like whatever. Only certain women will say, I want to go hunting with my dad. Only certain women, they will say she's the warrior, because out of all the women, she's the more like, okay, that's her purpose. She's different. It's not a lot of them, but majority of them having kids, going to the market, doing things like this, right? They're only looking at a woman like this, right? They've been together. They don't believe in, oh, I'm going to get with this dude. It don't work out. I'm going to go find somebody else. They don't do that. With this dude I'm with, we're going to rock out for the rest of our life, right? I'm not saying it ain't ups and downs, but it ain't bad as always is the good. I'm not saying that either. But I'm saying this. They have an algorithm. They have a plan. Us, we don't even give a fuck who our kids going with as long as we like them. Like, yo, I think he's cool. Well, he's all right. Long as he treats you good and do that shit. Yeah, but that's not.
Yeah. Let me interject right there. Let's bring that in perspective onto modern day. Like, you could have a man that's, you know, he's loyal, he's honorable, he's a righteous standing man, and he might not be rich. But this guy over here is rich. He has $1 million. He's not honorable. He's a sneak. But some people's families will be like, go over there with the rich man because he'll be able to take care of you. Even though he ain't right, he'll be able to take care of you. And then they see the righteous man over here that he might not have these worldly possessions. And they'll be like, nah, because you might struggle with this dude. But the rich dude's going to be cheating on you and messing with everybody else. And dude over here that ain't, you know, he might not have the riches, but he's loyal and humble and true to you. It's psychological, man. It's psychological. I'd rather have, you know, even though, you know, taking care of a person is important, but I'd rather have that righteous dude in the life than the dude that has money, but he's untrue and not righteous.
How many dudes that you know that go to those jails and stuff like that and then come home and has nothing? like has nothing to stand for. Like their mom ain't in the best situation, so they can't stay there that long. Their dad ain't doing that well. He probably don't know him. His brother, I mean, whatever, like he can't stay there long because he got his own family. So he's forced to do what he's knowing to do and make something for himself happen, right? Imagine all the women out there that you see on these social media pages that's successful, right? That has money or whatever. Might not be famous, but they have a real estate or whatever. And these dudes that's come home, they're fit. They didn't have sex in 2, 4, 5, 7 years. And they got their weight up. Their mind is on the right path. If you grab him up while he's still in that mode, he will be more motivated because his environment is a little bit more organized. You know what I mean? He can live out a little bit better. When he was writing that book in jail, when he come home, he ain't really got to stress. He can finish that, or he can have somebody help push him, right? So if we don't have a lot of women that's in positions taking these black men out of these situations, I'm not saying that's your job, but it is because it's your people at the same time, and you're in a position to help them. So when you see black men come out, you should have something there for them, men or women. I say women because men fall more down and more open-minded and more emotional when it comes from a woman because by nature. So I notice a lot of women won't mess with those guys, but they'll mess with a guy that's already a little bit established. And it's kind of hard to make that work because y'all already came with something. But it's a little bit different when y'all build it. So this man has nothing. When you build with him, he feels as though he wouldn't have what he had if it wasn't for you. But if I already had it, then I'm like, well, bitch, I don't need you because I made this shit on my own. So it's a little different respect or understanding. So I'm saying a lot of women that are in good situation sometimes don't look for a dude to have a whole bunch of money or look for a dude that has a whole bunch of morals and a whole bunch of love and understanding because that's the man you can lay with and say, man, he loved me for me. You see what I'm saying? Not for what I got because he's going to, I know how many dudes that ain't got shit and wish a female that was something, just holler at him. Just say what's up to him. That means a lot. You ain't got to talk to the nigga. Just give him some confidence. That's what we do as people. When you see a bum, you give him money, you give him help, you give him hope. Now he can go get a sandwich that can help him through the day. You're not going there and giving him clothes and giving him a shower. You're just getting him through his day. We should be trying to help these black men get through their day because that's going to be your strength at the end of the day. If you help a black man for the day, he might help you for a lifetime. That's the difference. One help of a black, because his strength lasts forever. Not talking about mental strength, physical strength, because you're going to need that. Men ain't always mentally strong. That's why we break. That's why we do perks. That's why I do smoke weed. Females can say, you know what? I ain't doing that shit. I got kids to take care of. I got this, a little bit more organized. If we had that together and we can really make a foundation, man, we'd be unstoppable. But this is how it works. Why would you want a black woman when that white girl right there? Man, you don't want no black girl. What you gonna do with a headache? Yelling at you, kicking you out, calling you a whole bunch of names. When you could go with a white girl, man, you be good. Your credit probably go up. You know what I mean? You probably get some. You see how the world does it? You see how the world, you see all these white girls twerking? You see all these white girls doing African dance and wearing dashikis now? You see them all doing things that they was never doing before, but it's doing it for a reason. It's not for the culture. It's because black men like it. And they're trying to get a black man. The difference about us, we don't have to dress white to get a white woman, but they have to sometimes. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's wicked.
Let me interject right there, and without colorism, but I think sometimes we have great men out here, but the backbone and the strength of a man is woman. So we have great men out here that are lost because they haven't found a great woman, and I believe a strong woman can make a man even better.
Thank you, babe. Did I tell you that all the time?
Word
and that's what gets me upset when we put down a woman's worth and her purpose, and some men, oh, you're just here for the kids and this and that, and you know what I mean? Because a woman brings, I mean, we need both the feminine and masculine energy, but a woman is the foundation, and the man will build off of that. You understand? So
that's a fact.
We need to start showing more respect towards our women.
And anybody out there, and any family, who's the backbone, who's the structure of our families is grandma. All right, the woman. Mm-hmm. Even if man ain't there, grandma holds us down. The mama holds us down. It's always a woman that holds the structure down. You know what I mean? Not to take anything away from man, but without woman, man is weak. You know what I mean? And like I said, a woman could make a man even stronger. So we need to look at this, you know, and even in the Confederacy, and people look at the Confederacy, and it came from the Iroquois nation from the Northeast. Look at who ran the show and who made the decisions. It was the woman. All right. And like I said, not to take anything away from man, but y'all gotta study this. Study the biology. The lioness is the queen of the jungle. All right, not the lion. The lioness is the queen of the jungle. All right, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I gotta get off the panel because I got people knocking at my door and I have family here. But you know, it was a pleasure being up here. It is just conversation between us. People don't get in your feelings, you know. We just talking our dialogue and spitting facts, you know. And if y'all don't like it, oh well, then you know, get get at us because I'm always ready to get back. You know,
That's a
and
fact.
that's what it is. Much love to you and your queen, man. You know, keep
Peace and
dropping that
blessings,
shit,
bro.
and I'll still be here
Peace.
dropping my shit. All
Always, man.
right,
It was a pleasure to have you up here, bro.
peace, one
Bless.
love.
Peace. Now, what I wanted to say, I forgot that woman's name. I gotta get her name, but she said usually the woman will lay down the law, and then the man will come and enforce it. And if you look at any household, usually when somebody wants something, it's ask your mom. You see what I'm saying? Like, so the woman have the rules and law, but the man will come in and enforce it.
That's a
That's
fact.
why I said the woman is the foundation, but the man is, you know, to build off of that foundation and protect. And you know, each one has its own job to bring. It's not like one is better than the other, but when you know your position and you understand masculine energy and feminine energy, you know, you have to stay in that. And a lot of women have issues with trying to be too masculine, but then want to be treated, you know, like a woman. It doesn't.
Yeah, you can't ask for something and show something else. This shit is deep. Cause you know my mind be thinking, boy. My mind be going all over the place. But I know what? I'm in this room and I feel like this fucking light is just gold in my face right here, just sitting
I
at
don't
me.
know why you got the light on. You're not cammed up, so you can
I
turn the light
know.
off.
I don't know why they think like, but this one I'm gonna get off this shit because I'm about to go back in the room and chill for a little bit. But this is what I'm gonna do. I want everybody, man. Please follow Goddess Nayuku. You know what I'm telling you? Follow the wife page, man. Go to it right now on Goddess Nayuku on YouTube and like, share, and subscribe, man. Subscribe is mandatory, you know what I mean? And if you want to get some healthy products for your body, man, go to www.goddessnayuku.com. That's where you can find the CMOS. We got the CMOS in. Don't get it messed up. We always got it if you need it. Um, we got a lot of things for you, but you got to see for yourself because we can't tell you because that's point giving you the cheat code for. Sometimes you got to want something. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you all the time. If you want to know what we got, sometimes you got to do your own research and see what we got for yourself. I ain't gonna tell you everything. So this is what I want y'all to do, man. Please go check out God is Nayako on her YouTube page, man. Please subscribe to the page and as well subscribe to mine, man. You see what I'm saying? I've been on this thing 2 hours and almost 30 minutes. You know what I'm telling you? And I feel like an over roasted chicken in this sweatsuit. You know what I'm saying?
I know
So,
you have.
I'm hot as hell. I feel like I'm wrapped in aluminum foil. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to get off this thing. Please like, share, subscribe this. Look at it over again. If you want to ask questions next time when I come up here, join the panel. If you want to face the animal, you know what I'm telling you? Because it ain't number animals on this panel. I'm telling you, come up here with the wrong shit, you might get your head split. So come up here legit. You hear me? I did block, what's his name? Drop the link to channel. I gotta drop the link to her channel. I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna go to our channel. And good look for that too, Rose Gold, man. I told you, man, some good people on here, man. We just gotta rock with everybody. Just don't rock with everybody, you heard? Um, right there. I'm gonna drop the link in the description. I'm gonna go to it right here.
Yeah, and the sea moss is always made upon request. I do not make sea moss and just let it sit in the refrigerator or the fridge or anything like that. This is stuff that I give my family, so I'm not going to, you know, give you something that's not preserved and fresh. So when you do order the sea moss, it takes a day because I have to soak it overnight. Sea moss has to soak for 24 hours. You know, with keeping it clean and rinsing it, and that's when I blend it with spring water and put it in a jar and send it to you. So the price was $40, but we dropped it to 35 because you do have to pay for shipping. So 35 for the sea moss, $5 for shipping, so it's an even $40. You can't really put a price on your health and getting yourself, getting your immune system healthy and everything like that. You can take the sea moss and whatever you want. You can put it as a face mask. It's good for eczema, acne, whatever. So really good, really, really good. And I got some other good stuff on there also.
Salute to Rose Gold. See, we don't even know how Rose Gold. Rose Gold might be a crazy marketer, man. That's why
Oh,
it's always
thank you,
good.
Rose Gold.
You
I
know what I mean?
appreciate that.
That's why it's always good. That's why I tell people, never burn your bridge, because you might need to cross it again. You heard? So that's why you always treat people good, man. Because people always gonna remember you for the good you do. Unless they bad, that means they don't gonna remember the bad you do. So you try to stay away from those type people. You see what I'm saying? But I just think everybody would come here, and for me to show love for y'all, man, for y'all to stay in the room and still listen to me, even though it might be something y'all might not agree with, but y'all still rock me. That's love. I'd rather have love in here than no love, even if it's one, man, because one can touch many, because they always go back and tell the information. So that's all that matters. You heard? So I just want to say thank everybody for coming through, man. Love all y'all, man. Stay out the way, so that in the way, love more, judge less, and please go to God is Logical on YouTube, on the link I dropped, so y'all can go to that page and subscribe and always get good things for motivation, good things for healing the spirit. You hear what I'm telling you? And y'all wait for crystals, and I can't tell the rest, right? So I'm gonna let y'all know, if y'all didn't know, we're here to get love, not judge. And we might say certain things that might tickle your nose hair, but man, all you gotta do is get one of those things to take all the nose hair out, and you won't be so emotional. You heard?
Baby in
So
there sweating. I'm
you know what I
trying to
mean?
get out this
I'm here sweat. I feel like Keith Sweat at a concert. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna chill back for a little bit, get off these sweatpants, get in the shower a little bit, jump on the game, and then lay down with the guys. You see what I'm saying? Probably watch a movie, something. That movie Purge, fire. If y'all didn't watch it, please watch it.
Oh yeah, y'all gotta watch
Um,
that. That
and if
purge,
y'all haven't
it had
seen
a good
9 Days,
story to it.
if y'all haven't seen 9 Days, I would love y'all to go see that too. That's when a guy he judged people if they deserve to be reborn or not. You know what I mean? So that's another good
Yeah,
movie
that
to
was good.
please watch that. It's a lot of things we should give. We should even give movie reviews on what we watched. You know what I mean? So we don't know what
Yeah,
happened
because
with that. You know what I mean? So even with stuff like that, so I mean, we're still used to this, and we're still trying to get our platform together, as well as building a foundation as a team, right? You know what I mean? So we're coming up with new things. Like I said, we could watch movies and give our reviews on The Purge and all type of things that we
yeah, to
watch.
put people on.
You know what I mean? Put people on that might haven't seen it or didn't get time to see it, or whatever the situation is. So we're still learning our content. We're still learning the algorithm. We're still learning how to even get monetized and what titles to put to be. So you might see me doing all type of stuff, but I'm just trying to
Yeah.
learn the system. But thank y'all for coming, man. Love y'all, man. Like I tell y'all, man, life is a journey, not a destination, man. And stay out the way so you're not in the way, man. And be around people that love you, not judge you. You know what I'm saying? And
I
if you
want to
ask,
say something. Don't cut it off yet. Go ahead.
go ahead, babe.
No, go ahead. I was just saying, don't click it. Go ahead. Go ahead. What you
No, I'm
want?
just
Go
saying,
ahead.
love y'all. Stay out the way. So that way, after the guy just talk, I'm a swammy it. Stay out the way. Love y'all.
I was reading the comments. Damn it, I lost my train of thought. Oh, you said we were still learning. Like everybody's still learning. And one thing that I have learned is that regardless what you're doing, just keep doing it. Whether if it's something on YouTube or you're trying to build your own business, just stay focused on what you're doing. Don't let nobody come in and distract you. And most importantly, don't let yourself distract you, because sometimes those thoughts in your head are not your thoughts. But we listen to them because they're in our head. But you have negative entities that are around you. You have negativity that's already inside you. So just keep, I had another point, but I lost my train of thought. Just keep doing what you're doing, regardless what it is, and stay positive. I forgot what I had to say, babe. I'm sorry. I forgot, the dog's distracting me, sitting here staring at me.
I'm gonna tell
And
y'all something.
love and love and love and love.
Hey yo, I'm out of here, right? It's hard sometimes to love somebody else when you still learn and love yourself. But I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing. Once you start loving yourself, you know the value of loving somebody else. Peace and blessings, man.